Entering the arena in the open cars today, the winners of the netball best and fairest, Gay Eaton, the Wellman family medalist, and Karen Hay of Rochester, the Sandra Cox medalist. They will be joining the 3 medalists that will receive their medals just before the start of the game. As the Rochester Tigers on the field and ready to go for the 1990 Grand Final. In just a moment, the Magpies will be appearing. Magpies about to enter the arena. Here's Kevin Storer, and led by Rod Dodger Mills, out of the rooms, through the run-through. And the Magpies are on the arena for the 1990 Grand Final. Rochester were here last year. The Magpies won their last in their first year in the GVL in 1970. Could all spectators leave the arena, please?
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Today's the day we've been waiting for. We've ordered the day and it's here. It's a beautiful day. I know you know we're going to be in for a magnificent game of football. I thoroughly hope you enjoy it. Have a great day and have a nice trip home. The cup's coming over here. The Bank of Melbourne manager has a cup. He'll hold it up. That's what we're playing for. That's what it's all about. We've got to go and get it.
Mr. Peter English from the Bank of Melbourne coming forward to present the Premiership Cup to Mr. Keith Wellman. And I believe, Peter, you have a cheque for $10,000 in your pocket as sponsorship. The Bank of Melbourne have put in $60,000 in recent years. And Peter, I'd ask you to make that presentation right now. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the 9th year that the Bank of Melbourne has been a major sponsor of the Goulburn Valley Football League. And that's something we're very, very proud of. It's the 4th year that I've been able to present this cheque. And Barry, it's with great pleasure on behalf of the Bank of Melbourne, I congratulate you and your committee of another successful year for the Goulburn Valley Football League, and I take pleasure now in presenting you a proud cheque for $10,000. Thanks again for all your help.
Thank you, Peter. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to present the medals that have been won in Goulburn Valley football in 1990. The third 18 best and fairest for 1990, the Patterson Medal, has been won by Adam Houlihan of the Kyabram Football Club. Give him a hand as he comes through to receive the medal from Barry Conley, the president of the league. Outstanding young player for Kyabram. The Abacare Medal for the second 18, a player that's just played 4 quarters of football. Congratulations to David Collins of the Rochester Football Club. Well done, David. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the Morrison medalist, the best and fairest player in Goulburn Valley football in 1990 from the Tongala Football Club. Welcome, Russell Burns. Russell Burns, the Morrison medalist for 1990. In a few moments, the players will run a lap of honour. And now we'd like to introduce and welcome the best and fairest in the netball. The Wellman family medal for A grade was won by Gay Eaton from Tachura Netball Club. And the B grade, the Sandra Cox medal, was won by Karen Hay of Rochester. And I'd like now to present our Miss Football for 1990, sponsored by the Bank of Melbourne, Michelle Hutchins from Shepparton United. Our Miss Football for 1990. Now, ladies and gentlemen, would you please be upstanding for the national anthem? Thank you, players. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And now it's on with the 1990 Goulburn Valley League Grand Final.
And the umpire's not even looking. He's held the ball up. So here we go in the 1990 Grand Final, Euroa versus Rochester. And umpire Freer puts it down. Up they go. Getting up high was Old. Taps it out very wide. Picking it up is... we've had the customary free kick out of the centre. And it's going to go to Gary Harvey.
Actually, all it did was penalise Euroa then, Mick, because right, Harvey had cleared the ball and he brought it back and given it to Storer.
He just drops it over there, very ordinary pass, but running straight past him, and once again hand passing it out there, coming down to centre half forward for Euroa. Mills at the back, but he's been completely outmarked there by Martin Kick. He runs off, has one bounce off the half back line, kicks it out wide towards us. They set themselves, punching it away. He's Torres, I think. It's come down to the ground. Leading in the race is Brody. Does very nicely, but he's dispossessed. Picking it up is number 45 for John Douglas. He hand passes it back, and it comes down to the centre forward. Mills gets up high, can't control the ball, and it's out over the boundary line. And Mr. Flanagan goes in very hard, but unfortunately it's all over. So
hello. First slap in the face, and Martin Kick receives a free kick on the half-back line for Rochester. Completely uncalled for. Nick Lupton just ran past him and gave him a slap in the mouth, and Greg Freer was only 5 metres away. But Kick plays on quickly to Andrews, and he kicks across the centre line, looking for his player there in Nick Hall, and he gets it and is able to clear, and it's in the centre of the ground with the Rochester player there, number 45, Darryl O'Neill, and he gives it across to Martin, and he kicks long down into the goal area. It's Adam Edwards in front, but he can't control the ball, and it's down on the ground. Miller and Putamorsi is heavily disposed of there by
tried very hard for the free kick, George, didn't he? But
he certainly
didn't quite get it.
And it's Edwards tries to grab the ball out of the air, but it comes down to Harvey. But it's on down here, and looks like the first report of the game, and it's...
Mr. Andrews has been fell behind the play, and he is out. Yeah. I can tell you that. Don't worry about that. You described the footy, I'll describe the fight.
Okay, we're back in the Rochester forward pocket, and there's been a boundary throw in.
Completely out on his feet.
It's Gravina fighting hard for the ball. Harvey tries to get through the ball, but it's still clear to Storer, and he's going to clear for Euroa, and he kicks out wide to the grandstand wing, looking for Daly, I think it is, and he's got the ball, and he takes one bounce, and he runs down through the centre area, and kicks the Lupton, and he's clear, and he kicks over to Mills, and he's about 15-20 metres clear, and he has a look at goal, and he runs in, and it's off target, through for the first score of the match.
Number 31, Ross Andrews, has completely been poleaxed. He's been knocked straight out, and the man who just had the last kick was the man who did that. We've got Terry Carmen warming up, but they will cart him off on a stretcher. Very interesting. That
completely behind the play.
Did not see what happened there. I don't know. I'm not making any comment. All we saw was we just looked around, and there he was, poleaxed on the ground. So there you go. Things aren't very well. We're waiting for the umpires to start play again, because Andrews has just been laid on a stretcher, and he is, I don't know what happened. I'm making no comment. He is completely out. He will take no further part in the game. And the scores at the moment are Euroa 1.1 behind on the Burke Hire scoreboard, and we're waiting for unbelievable. But Ross Andrews to be carted off, and he will be a big loss to...
he was one of their driving forces last week across the half-back line.
Has played well.
Pitchy has played well in the last 2 games for Rochester on the half-back
And
play.
what is... we didn't see what happened.
No, I didn't see.
No comment.
Well, it was, let's face it, Nick, it was 50 metres behind play. We were all looking down in the Rochester goal square, and next thing we know, there's a bit of a flurry out of the corner of the eye, and there's a Rochester player flat on his back, and Euroa player in Lupton went in the book. That's all. That's all we know at this stage.
That's right. You didn't know what went on behind play or whatever, but there you go. But he is completely, and hopefully he'll be all right, because he is completely out. He's still unconscious, and
so he's just raised his arm, so he is okay. But anyway, plays back in action now, and it's on the Euroa half-forward line, and I dare say things will be a bit hairy out there at the moment. That it's Harvey for Euroa trying hard to get possession of the ball, and Gravina has put a heavy tackle on his Euroa opponent, and umpire Freer has decided that he'll bounce the ball up, and in doing so he's having a few words to Mr. Storer.
Oh, I don't think, I'm not making no comments, because that's just something that happens. Righto, we're waiting. It's on the 50-metre line for Euroa, and we're waiting for umpire Freer to put the ball down. There it goes. Up they go. Con gets tied. Straight to Vanderveer. He tries to come through the pack, doesn't get anywhere. And the umpire has picked out a free kick over the shoulder
to the new player on the ground, Carmen.
No, it's not. Kick, and he's in the middle thing, so he's looking for some options. There's not too many forthcoming. He kicks it right into the centre of the ground. Up they go, sitting back and taking a good mark there, and being bowled over for his trouble.
It's Morrison.
It's Morrison, and he's made a great comeback from a knee injury. Ordinary kick, but it lands at centre forward. It comes down, picking it up nicely there, but score just as attack. The opposition in Warren Martin, and the umpire said you can have a free kick, because he didn't even bother about the ball. He just ran onto him straight through. So Warren Martin on the 50-metre line for a centre half back. He's looking for his options. He just kicks it up in the air to centre half forward. Old sets himself, drops the mark. He's punched away. Going in strongly there is number 14 for things like Chris Burke. He kicks it out here, and marking it nicely is number 27 in Peter Taylor. He gives it off, and Mills has another shot from exactly the same place, and this time he has placed it through.
Oh, no.
Oh, the umpire.
Grazed the inside of the post.
Oh, the umpire said that's missed the post by a foot.
I thought we called it
beside us absolutely distraught.
I thought we called that pretty well then, Nick. But anyway, they've played on immediately, and it's Carmen going to clear across the half-back line for Rochester, and he goes out wide. But in front was Mills, and he's proving to be a headache for them at the moment. And he had first hands on the ball, and it's gone over the line and out of bounds. And here we are after the first 10 minutes of play at Deakin Reserve on Burke's higher scoreboard. It's Euroa, 2 points to Rochester yet to score. And it's going to be Auld for Rochester, and he gets the ball down to kick, but he was infringed upon by Daly, and he's going to receive a free kick. I'm sorry, it's Jeremy Rourke, not Auld, and he kicks long down to the half-forward line, where the Euroa player in Douglas punches the ball away, but it's Putamorsi who has crumbed pretty well, and he's got the ball across to Stuart Palmer, and he goes into centre half-forward looking for Auld, but he's outnumbered 3-1, and it's Brody who clears for Euroa with a kick down to centre half forward looking for O'Brien, but he was nudged out. That gives the running players the opportunity, but once again it's Mills in there really making the most of it.
The biggest collision you've ever seen, and nobody was looking at the football, was there, George?
No, Mick.
What do you think about that one, Fitzy?
Yes, I thought that anything could have happened in that little passage of play.
Just missed.
Yes,
just. That's right. Keep going, George. You're doing
so here we go.
Job.
And it's Con and Martin. Con gets first hand of the ball and knocks it down to Lupson, and he's infringed upon by his Rochester opponent, and he's about 35 metres out, directly in front, and has the opportunity to score the first major of the game. And Euroa are looking ominously dangerous at this stage.
Yeah, they're just dominating the play around the ground. They're running in, and you can hear the boos. There ain't no comment on that. He comes in, has a shot from dead in front. And don't worry about that. He's put it... Oh, he's missed.
Gee, we're not calling them too well today, Nick.
That's for sure, because that goal, that looks like it went through by a foot.
Looked like a sure
but he's
goal
closer
from
than
here.
we are. But on the Burke Hire scoreboard, we've got Euroa 3 points, three behind 3 points, so they definitely need a goal. There's the kick in, sitting up at the back there and trying to take a big mark was Rourke. Once again, the ball spills free on the wing. It gets kicked forward by Darryl O'Neill. Punch back. O'Neill goes in hard for it, but misses it, and leading it. That man Brody again comes through, kicks it long out to the half-forward flank for Euroa, but unfortunately they're outnumbered 2-1, and there's a big kick up the ground and marking it on his chest there for Euroa. I don't know who that is.
No,
I think
McPhee.
that's McPhee. The ball's punched away. McPhee's playing on the half-forward flank. The umpire's played the thing. Pond comes through. Kicks it there, and taking a good mark is Mills at centre half-forward. Just inside the centre square, and he will put them well into attack. And O'Brien hasn't even moved. He kicks it high in the air. O'Brien sets himself, goes up, punched away by Holman very nicely. Outnumbered, Carmen picks it up, hands it off to Holman Lovely. He runs on the left foot, kicks it out wide, and McPhee leading in the race of the ball. Picks it up, but he's hotly pursued. Kicks it back into the centre looking for Rourke, but it's punched clear. Storer picks it up, kicks it long down the ground. They ran in very strongly. O'Brien picks it up, runs into the open goal and bangs it right through the middle. So Euroa open their account, and they've dominated this first quarter so far. We've only played 10 minutes and we'll go till 33 or 4 minutes because of an unfortunate accident to Mr. Palmer, but they've moved on to 1-3-9 on the Burke High scoreboard. Fitzy, they're looking dangerous, aren't they?
Yes, Paul O'Brien did that well, didn't he, when he scooped on that ball and kicked the goal.
Shows his class there. Fitzy, he didn't bother trying to contest. There were two Euroa players contesting against Rochester opponents. He had enough sense to wait down, and once the ball hit the deck, he had the first option.
Right, there goes the bounce in the centre. Tapped down by Old again. He's doing most of the ruckback, but it's coming down. It's been marked on the far flank by Corrish. He plays on, kicks it up the ground, straight up the ground, but Rochester at centre half back take a strong
Very courageous mark, wasn't it?
Yeah, very
Warren
strong.
Martin.
Warren Martin, he doesn't lack any courage, I can tell you that. He kicks it out here to the centre of the ground. Euroa in the van, punch it forward. It lands. Things Storer going in very strongly, but the ball doesn't fall for him. Picking it up there was, I couldn't see that, number 19 for Stuart Palmer. He gets the ball up the ground, but leading in the race is Brody, and the ball goes out over the boundary line. It's beat Darren Hooper and Brody, so we'll have a throw in about 80 metres around from Rochester's goal.
And Mick, it's Jeremy Rourke and Bush in ruck this time, and away they go, Euroa again, and it's going to be Brody, but he's well tackled by Hooper. He gets a scrummy kick in, but it gives Storer the opportunity, and he eludes a tackle, goes around back onto his left boot and hooks it down to the half-forward line, looking for Mills. He comes in from behind, and it was kick in front this time, and he was going crooked the umpire that he should have been paid the mark, but that's not the way to do it, Martin. Because while he was going crooked the umpire,
beautiful bit of play there.
Euroa just took the ball away.
Oh, beautiful bit of play there from Chris Daly. He just chipped the ball over to O'Brien on the goal square. Didn't have a shot himself, George. Very unselfish play.
That was very good football, and as I was saying, Mick, that was a bad play by Martin Kick, and the result there from Mr. O'Brien is his second goal. And
I tell you what, there's something wrong with my eyes. If that was a goal, Fitzy, what do you reckon?
No, that's one of those situations where I couldn't see it.
You couldn't see it again. Oh, yeah, goody. Yeah, there must
Attention, we have a message for someone from the Dillon family.
What do you think about that?
Yeah,
Phone call
I
from
would
Loretta
have called that a
Warren. Could you
point.
come to the
I really would have. But
broadcast
anyway,
point
that's
for further
Paul O'Brien's
details?
second goal and Euroa's second goal. So at 14 minutes here on the Burke's High scoreboard at Deakin Reserve, it's Euroa 2-3-15, and Rochester are yet to open their account, and Euroa are looking very, very good. And
well, Fitzy, what's going on? They're warming someone up on the bench. Who's
David
that?
Tate, I think it is.
David Tate.
Yeah,
Whether they run the Rovers off the bench.
Yeah, that's always been a good ploy. Yeah, goody, eh? If your Rovers are dominating, you leave them on the ground. But there you go.
So we're back in the centre, and it's going to be the two combatants there in Rourke and Bush. And the bounce favours Bush, and he gets first hand of the ball and gives Harvey the opportunity, and he gets a quick kick into centre half forward, and it's Lupson in front of the pack. But he's unable to gain possession of the ball, and bursting through was Con, and he was heavily met, but there was no free kick paid. There's plenty of vigour being used at the moment, and Kevin Storer bursts through, and he gets a kick to hand pass to Bush, but his kick was smothered, and they're still trying to force the ball forward. It hasn't moved very far at the moment, and they're showing a lot of aggression. but it's Euroa who get the ball out to Mills, and he's got a quick kick into O'Brien, and he's in the goal square, and it's a shot over his shoulder and off the boot. It looks like it's through for one more behind.
A little bit selfish there because he had his he had a teammate there doing very nicely, and he could have hand passed it back, George, couldn't he?
Yes, he could have, Mick.
He could have given it back there to number 27 in his Peter Taylor, and he would have had a 20 minutes. But there, never mind, there's the kick out. Flanagan's got the ball. He's had one bounce, two bounce. He's on the wing. He's looking for some options. He kicks it long up to the half-forward flank, and sitting underneath it is McPhee. McPhee's got it about 70 metres out. Tries to balk, does well. Runs on his left foot, kicks it back into the centre of the ground, and Alan Edwards has led very well and marked about 45 metres out, 35 metres out I should say, on a 45-degree angle, and he shouldn't have too many troubles in putting this through for their first goal. And to say they need it, we've played 15 minutes and the score is 2 goals for 16 to Euroa on the Berkshire scoreboard, and this will bring up Rochester's first score, and he's kicked it straight over the goal umpire's head. So Rochester have opened their account, and they move to 1 goal, 6 points to Rochester, 2 goals for 16, 10-point lead to Euroa.
To say they needed the goal then was an understatement.
Pity though, they've wasted it. They've had the ball over there in their forward line for what? 20 or 15 minutes, 13 minutes of the whole game.
Yes.
The first foray forward, isn't it?
Yes.
That's all you're going to say, yes.
Okay,
well, fair enough.
We're back in the centre, and it's umpire Freer who puts the ball up, and it's Rourke and Bush gets first hand of the ball, and Brodie tries to knock the ball clear, but he can't do so, but it's going to be Rochester who clear it, and it's Hooper who kicks long down in the forward line looking for Edwards, but he has the ball punched away by Veering, and a Euroa player was met very heavily then by O'Neill, and he's still in there fighting hard for the ball, but it's Edwards who uses a bit of vigour and gets it out to Robbie Miller, and he ducks and weaves, has a shot from about 30 metres out, and the result is 1 behind.
If he's given that a goal, he should have been sacked, the goal umpire. His head nearly snapped off his... Did you see that, George?
That's in that blind corner, Mick. I'm a little unsighted from here. We've got a couple of obstacles in our way down the city end goal there, and I couldn't quite see that one. But on the Berkshire scoreboard at the 16-minute mark, it's Euroa 2-4-16, leading Rochester 1-1-7. And it's going to be John Veering who's going to kick off for Euroa, and he goes long. And it's over the 50-metre line, and it's a McPhee from Rochester who gets hand to ball, and he punches it down to Putamorsi, but he's very well tackled by Harvey, and allows Euroa to clear the ball out towards Taylor, but he wasn't favoured by the bounce, and McPhee bursts his way through those 2 Euroa opponents and carries the ball across the boundary line with him.
And we've got number 54 for Darren Chugg coming out on, and he's going to change with Rourke. Obviously that's a preconceived plan. There's the throw in. They go in. Corish goes in hard. But Vanderveer's in and hands it off there to number 47 in...
27,
Keogh, was it? But he's had a big kick up towards the goals, and Robbie Miller's gone in after it and had a collision with the behind post. And the umpire said throw it in. He's got up a little bit sore too. So we're waiting for the throw in. It's about right beside the behind post for... Rochester. There's the throw in. It's cleared. Vanderveer sits himself. He doesn't mark it, but coming on is Mr. Rourke, I think, again. Darren Chugg, I should say, kicks it up, but they're outnumbered. Coming away very nicely with the footy is Harvey, but he's kick smothered. Harvey kicks it off the ground and clears it. Corish goes in, but the umpire judged. He pushed him in the back, and picking it up is Mr. Vanderveer, but he didn't quite get it. Coming out there with the ball to clear it off the half-back flank for Euroa was David Morrison. He kicks it out wide. They go in very hard after the footy. But the ball's been spilled out, and they're tapped over the line, I would say. No, the umpire's called play on. Stacks on the mill. Umpire Freer comes in. It's about 80 metres around between the wing and the half-forward flank for Euroa, and we're just waiting for a bounce. And I tell you what, they're going in very strongly.
Okay, and we're back with umpire Freer, and it's Chugg, but over the top again was Bush. He's doing a very good job, but it only went as far as Mick Gordon. He's got a hand pass across the top to Vanderveer, and he goes long down in the forward line.
And that's one of the things that lets him down, is he's kicking, isn't it?
Yes, and it was a timely mark by Chris Burke, and he has a change of direction, and he goes out wide to Taylor. He doesn't let him down, and he plays on and goes one way then the other, and he's back on his left foot, and he's looking for Morrison, but his kick was intercepted by Hooper. He hasn't got many options at this stage, but he finds Martin kick there, offering a bit of assistance, but he was well tackled by Mills. And Morrison shows a lot of courage and goes in and tries to clear for Euroa, but to no avail. And it was Mick Gall punching the ball forward for Rochester, but it's now over the line and out of bounds. And they're definitely showing a bit of aggression, these boys.
Didn't do Mr. Kick any good.
No, Martin Kick is very sore. He's holding his left shoulder, so that little bit of a bump really took it out of him.
So it's Chug who gets a hand ball from that boundary throw in, but doesn't gain a great deal of advantage for his side because he's knocked it straight over the line and out of bounds once again.
Very sore behind play here. He's got the hands on the bloody shorts already, and we've only played 20 minutes into the...
He's 15 metres away from his opponent who's standing on the wing.
Okay, so we're back with play, and it's Darryl O'Neill who gets the kick in towards centre-half forward, but it's Morrison from Euroa who tries to mark, and he does it well, and he gets it to Storer, and Storer goes across the top to James Cornish, and Cornish goes wide looking for Lupson, but Carmen was able to get first hand the ball, and he's still trying to gain possession, and Lupson gives him a bit of a nudge and gets away with it, and he gets a handball over the top. And this time it's going to be Warren Martin who knocks the ball further forward, looking for Palmer, I think it was, and he gets it across the top to his teammate there, and he runs through the centre of the ground, and he goes long down to centre forward looking for Edwards, and he doesn't let him down. He takes a nice mark, and he plays on quickly over the top to Putamorsi, and he marks just inside play, and shows a lot of intelligence there, and he didn't wait for the umpire's decision, and he's popped it through for Rochi's second goal. So they're back in it now, and at the 20-minute mark here at Deakin Reserve on the Burke's High scoreboard, it's Euroa, 2 goals for 16, leading Rochester 2-1 13. So there's not much in it at this stage, Mick.
Dreadful marking there from
attention
Rochester,
please, a message for Melinda Armstrong and Darren Metzke. Could you please
Rochester
go to the Shepparton Football Club rooms? Melinda Armstrong and Darren Metzke. And could Bill Nagel go to the main gate at the Nixon Street end? Bill Nagel.
From Lupson and that there, they just let it out. But doesn't matter, that's another goal. There's the bounce in the centre. They go up, picking it up very nicely there is number 19, is Stewart in... Neil Poole, he kicks it long to the full forward line for things. Carmen's in the van for thing. He's tackled very strongly, and umpire Freer says in the back. So he's taken the relieving kick about right on the half-back flank. He kicks it out towards the wing. They said themselves that's got to be a free kick, but coming down with the ball is Euroa. Kicked up here to course Kevin Story. He taps it on beautifully to Tate, is it? Tate runs on the left foot. Beautiful pass here, and marking it is Mills. Mills has got the ball right on the 50-metre line. He kicks it into the forward pocket, and sitting underneath it is Mr. O'Brien, who completely outported Mr. Holman in that exchange because he looked around to see where he was, and he wasn't. He'd gone. So he will shoot O'Brien from right in front of the United stand, about 25 metres out. Very acute angle on his left foot, wrong side, and we've had an interchange now, but we'll wait for him to kick the ball. He kicks it in and hits the post.
Second poster for the quarter to Euroa.
That's right. So we've had a change. David Southwell's come on the ground.
Replacing Bush. I can't understand that one, Mick, but anyway, we'll have to keep an eye on things there. And it's Martin who's kicked off for Euroa. It was a very poor kick, but it turned out it's probably made 70 metres, and Darren Chugg has got one in the back. And no, umpire Freer's called play on, so it's still a bit scrambly out there, and it's Con who uses his strength and gets the ball out to Cornish, who got it across to Taylor, and he's kicked in long, but it's Carmen who marks and relieves to Rochester, but it was a poor hand pass, and he put his teammate in Martin under pressure, but it's Holman who eventually clears for Rochester. But
Settle down, George.
Yeah, getting a bit flustered there. It's hard and fast at the moment, and it's a little bit difficult to keep track of things. And we've played 24 minutes, and it's going to be Euroa about to have a shot for goal from out there on the half-forward line. And I think it's Mills, and he's gone long into the goal square. O'Brien sets himself, but can't gain control, and it's come off Flanagan's boot, and it's been rushed through for one behind. So here on the Burke's High scoreboard, at the 24-minute mark of the first quarter, it's Euroa 2-6-18, leading Rochester 2-1-13. And it's gone out wide, but it's Mills who punches the ball away, and it's gone down to Lupson, and he goes in short, but it's O'Neill who intercepts for Rochester, and he tries to play on, but he was under pressure, had few options, and it's back with him now, and he's going to get his kick in this time, and he goes short to Gravina. So he's just outside 50, and he's going to go across the centre looking for Hooper, and he doesn't let him down. He takes a nice mark in the centre, and he hand passes across the top to Flanagan, and he's running forward, and he's got Edwards, and he doesn't let him down. And they look good when they move the ball like that, Nick.
Oh, when they board quickly, it's unbelievable, because Veering hasn't been with 100 yards, Fitzy.
No, Veering hasn't had a touch.
No, I think it's a bad move. I think John Veering's a bit too slow down there. He's better off out around the ground where he can use a bit of his strength and vigour.
That's right, but he's not entered against Edwards.
No, he just hasn't got enough pace. But what's Edwards done? He's put it through, yes. So Rocky have hit the front for the first time in the game, and at the 25-minute mark here at Deakin Reserve on Burke High scoreboard, it's Rochester 3-1 and 19, leading Euroa 2-6-18. And Euroa have had all the play, but they haven't been able to convert too often.
Wasted it, Fitzy?
Yes, they've
8 shots to 4.
they're starting to get a little bit cocky, aren't they, Euroa, with some of the little moves that they're making?
Bit early.
Yeah,
but
might be early, but it looks that way a little bit.
That's right, but there's the bounce in the centre from Spear. Up they go. Beautiful knockdown from Con to Tate. Kicks it up here. Warren Martin goes underneath it, but doesn't get it. The ball still free, and picking it up and running into the open goal is number 23 for Euroa, and that's a quick reply. If they're going to play like that, Chris Daly just said thank you very much as the ball came out of the centre. Tapped it over, beautiful tap out, picked it up, Tate, kicked it down, Daly ran into the open goal.
A reminder, spectators only on the arena, off the arena at quarter time, only officials allowed on the arena. Those holding arena passes.
Him often during the second semi when things were a bit tight and they needed something happening. He does a lot of the hard work for Euroa that goes unnoticed, and from that centre bounce that was a magnificent tap down there, and it opened it up for Euroa, and two kicks and it was through for a goal. So that's what they need, and it's back in the centre. This time it's Mick Alden Storer, and Storer wins out this time, and he goes wide on his left foot, and he's found Taylor, who was unmarked by Martin, and he's looking for options, and he goes on his left foot out wide looking for Southwell, but he was unsighted by the sun then, and it's going to go over the line and out of bounds, and Mr. Lupson was doing a fairly good job of shepherding then.
Yeah, but don't knock him, but how could they have 2-1 out there? Who was playing on Lupson at that stage? There was no one within 40 metres.
Terry Carman seems to have the unfortunate task.
Unfortunate? Why do you say that, George?
I wouldn't like to be tagging him, Mick. He's mad, that fella. But anyway, we're back with Martin and Mills, and Mills gets the tap down, but it's going to be cleared by Rochester through Shane Dupay, but only as far as Kevin Storer. And he's just outside 50 and taken a strong mark, and he's going back. I'm not sure what he's up to at the moment. He's looking for some action from his forward, so he decides to go long. It's a beautiful kick down to the point of the square, and it's Mills was up, but waiting down was the little fella, David Tate.
Beautiful goal, kicked it outside of his foot, rode the pack brilliantly there, ran in off the thing, was harassed by the Rochester players, kicked it off the outside of his right foot, because he couldn't. I don't think he can kick left foot if that's his go, but it doesn't matter. It's bounced through for a goal, and on the Burke High scoreboard in their last 2 minutes, Rochester have let Euroa in for a couple of goals. So Rochester trail 3 goals 1-19 to 4 goals 6-30. There's the tap down. Going in very strongly was Rourke, who's playing a great game, but Veering came out strongly. They all go in. Robbie Miller hands it off there. I can't see who's got the ball there. O'Neill it is. His hand passes in front of him, but he's dispossessed by Rourke, but unfortunately have gone out of bounds about 10 metres around from the 50-metre line.
Just a positional change, Mick. They must have heard us. They've moved Veering out to centre-half back, and they've put Darby Morrison back on Edwards.
Righto, right on the 50-metre line in Rochester's attacking zone. The ball comes down. Going in after it was Putamorzi, but he's just been pushed off the ball, and once again we'll have yet another throw in. We've played 27 minutes in this first quarter of the grand final, and we've got Rochester 3-1-19 versus Euroa 4 goals 6-30. So after that throw in, we've got a free kick, and who's got that there? Gary Conn. Yes. He's got the ball. He will kick from just inside the half-back flank. Beautiful kick from him up to the half-forward line. They set themselves. The ball spills free. Oh, and a bad miss there from Euroa, because they had the numbers, but unfortunately their player ran over the ball, and it's been tapped out of bounds about 70 metres around from their goal. So we'll wait for yet another throw in, And it's 30 plays 19. Another goal here to Euroa will be vital, I think, in this game. There's the throw-in. Up they go. It hits the ground. Quick kick off the ground. Leading in the race there is McPhee. Portamorzi goes in strongly, but he's been dispossessed. Darryl O'Neill hand passes it off. Coming down the ground there is Warren Martin. Pumps it up. It's 2-1. It's punched away. His own teammate just got flattened Euroa, and the ball's been bumped out of bounds by the defenders about 10 metres away. But they looked ominous there, Fitzy, the Rochester side, as the way they came through there.
Yes, they're really putting in to get that vital break. They need another goal just before quarter time, don't they?
Righto, there's the throw-in, right in the pocket. It's been punched down. Beautiful smother there as Mickey Old goes in, picks it up, has a quick kick off the side of the boot, and the umpire runs across and says, bad luck. It's out of bounds on the full, but I tell you what, he's dominated Old at this stage, hasn't he? How many kicks?
He's been playing
well,
very well.
He might have dominated, but he's only had 3 kicks, but I'd say he's got 3 or 4 handballs that have really made him...
Okay, so it's Darren Chugg who's taken the resultant kick-off, and he's going to put it back into the Rochester forward line, looking for Edwards. He's at the front of the pack, but has it punched away by Morrison, and he's going to tidy up and clear it away himself with a handball to O'Brien. To Brody, and he goes long into the centre area, but there's no one there for Euroa, and it was O'Neill who got first hands on the ball, but no one's able to gain control of it at this stage, and it's a bit scrambly, and it's
Great
going to
work
be
from
Darryl
Lupton
O'Neill
there,
that time, and he goes out wide to Dupay, I think it is, and he kicks down to centre half forward, and it was Gravina in front, but he had it punched away, and McPhee's trying hard there to gain possession, and he does, and he turns and has a quick kick over his shoulder, and out there is Mickey Orr waiting under it, but coming across the top and taking a fine mark was Gary Confiero, and he plays on quickly, looking for Taylor out on the centre wing, and he gets hands on ball, but he's outnumbered 3-1, and it's going to be Gravina for Rochester, and he goes in and leading to the ball with Adam Edwards, and he does it very nicely, and he was unfairly dealt with, but I didn't think that it warranted a 50-metre penalty.
I mean, he went for the ball. He wasn't too keen in getting it.
Oh, no, you don't give it to him on a plate, but I didn't think it warranted a 50-metre penalty, but as it turns out, umpire Freer has put him right back on the goal line, and that was just what Rochester needed. And that keeps them within touch at this stage. And we've played 31 minutes, but as Mick mentioned a little earlier in the quarter, when we lost 3 or 4 minutes when Andrews was unfortunately felled behind play and carried off on a stretcher, so I'd say this quarter will go for at least another 3 or 4 minutes. So at the 32-minute mark here at Deakin Reserve on Burke's Hire scoreboard, and the timekeeper's just told me we've got 1 minute to go, so that's how good a judge we are. But anyway, there's not much in it here, and we predicted a close encounter, and that's exactly what we're getting at this stage, and it's Euroa 4-6-30. Holding out Rochester on 4-1-25.
I'll bet you we got longer because the ball's been kicked up into the middle of next week, and I think
a new footy is just coming out.
So some young, enterprising young bloke could get up the tree or whatever, or wherever it's gone. So there you go. But very interesting now. Rochester fighting back. They've kicked 4 goals, 1 kicking very straight to Euroa 4 goals, 6. So 5 points the difference.
Okay, and we're in the centre area, and it's Con who gets first hands again, but no one's able to clear until this time it was Neil Poole for Euroa who got a handball, but it didn't go anywhere in particular, and I think the umpire's going to have to come in and show a bit of authority and bounce it up, and that's exactly what he does. So umpire Freer clearing a bit of an area there on the rough centre turf area, and as you'll hear in the background,
officials only on the arena.
The siren has just been sounded. So quarter time score here at Deakin Reserve on Burke's Hire scoreboard. It's Euroa 4-6-30, leading Rochester 4-1-25.
Well, Euroa dominated that quarter, but not on the scoreboard. 50. What about on the statistics? What was the go?
Well, the goal kickers for Euroa to start off with: Paul O'Brien's kicked 2, David Tate and Chris Daly 1 each. For Rochester, Adam Edwards has kicked 3, and David Portamose has kicked 1. The best kick getters are Kevin Storr, who's got 7 kicks in the centre. Rodney Mills has got 6 kicks at centre half forward. Mark Brody's got another 5 kicks. He's knocked up getting kicks in the finals.
Now we're calling the captains of the Goulburn Valley Schoolboys
Rochester,
team,
Warren Martin, Adam Edwards,
who have been asked to be here today to have a special presentation to one of the people of the Goulburn Valley who have given magnificent service to football and particularly in Goulburn Valley Schoolboys. I'd like to ask Mr. Brendan Ryan,
that evens out in the long run.
District Councillor, if he would come forward.
10 shots to 5. How do you feel the game's going?
I think you've summarised it pretty well there, Mick. Euroa have had the majority of play, and those shots that they missed, they were set shots. They've got no one to blame but themselves. They could have held a fairly handy lead at quarter time, but full points to Rochester. It took them a while to settle down, and once they did get over that initial nervousness, and I'm sure that accounted for a lot of the mistakes that they were making early. They made use of the ball well, and they had Adam Edwards on top at full forward and marking strongly. I think he was given a bit of an opportunity to settle down early with the move of the Euroa Brains Trust having Veering down there at fullback. I'm not knocking John Veering, he's a fine player, but I think he's better suited out around the ground where he can use his strength. He just didn't have the pace to combat Edwards down there, and a couple of times he was left flat-footed.
They look very good. Spot on, because Graham Scott has been announced as the coach of Shepparton Football Club. There's the bounce in the centre. Up they go. Old taps it out, but leading in the race there was Portamosi, but the umpire deemed that he knocked his opposite number 11 in Gary Harvey right over, so he's got the free kick right in the centre again. He chips it out here, looking for and finding Douglas, and he took a good mark, but the umpire, well, he took a mark, we'll say that, and he's got the ball. He's right on the wing. He kicks the ball long up towards full forward, but sitting underneath it is David Portamosi. He's done well to get back there and act in defence. He didn't have a target. In he comes. He kicks it straight into Mr. Lupson. As I said, he couldn't kick over a toadstool, and he just proved it. There's the kick, and behind play.
She's on again.
Yep. Look out, they're going down like flies. I don't know what happened there, who came in. The umpires are all running.
Calling the scoreboard attendant, could you please return the clock to the commencement? Wilbur Shillington has been operating the scoreboard. This is his 33rd grand final today, and he forgot to put the clock back.
I don't know what's going on here, but the umpire sort of...
while all that was happening, Nick, Euroa got the ball across to Mills, and he's about 30 metres out, and he's about to have a shot for goal. And off the boot it looks good, but it's faded away at the last moment and gone through for one behind. So bad kicking again by Euroa. They had the opportunities in, and from
easy
a set
shots.
Yes, easy shots.
Right, we're waiting for Mr. Holman to put it back in. He kicks a beautiful kick right in the centre of the ground, but getting up very high was the Euroa ruckman, but Portamosi, Gravina goes in strongly. But he's well tackled, picking it up there and running in straight into a tackle. Got a bit flummoxed there, I think was young Tate or Poole, was it? Poole it might have been. There's the ball handed off. It's kicked on the left foot to centre half forward, and sitting underneath it is Teo.
He's not listed in the program. That's why we have a little trouble picking him up, Nick.
He'll kick from the 50-metre line. I know Ian Edwards sits underneath it, but he's... umpire.
Brought to the ground with an arm over the shoulder.
And the umpire's giving him another free kick, and but you've got to give him his due. He got in front, and he's causing them quite a few headaches. Mr. Edwards up there is full forward, and he will shoot from 10 metres out on a 45-degree angle, and he shouldn't have too many problems in putting Rochester to make them equal. In he comes, puts it on the foot, and he's put it right through the middle. On the GV Recycling scoreboard, we've gone to Rochester, 5 goals, 1, 31. Euroa, 4 goals, 7, 31. So we've certainly got a football match. What's that make his tally now?
Adam Edwards has kicked 4 goals.
4 goals out of 5 goals. It's not a bad effort, isn't it?
No, he's had 5 kicks and 4 marks at full forward, so he's taking over there a little bit.
And they've just made a big change there. Number 45, John Douglas, has gone straight back down. They've tried, this is his 3rd opponent, so he must reckon this is Christmas, but it doesn't matter. We're waiting for umpire Pell to put the ball down in the centre.
And it's going to be Rourke. Hello, what's happened here? Free kick.
Don't know what happened there.
Centre square infringement. It's Kevin Storer who takes advantage of that and runs through the centre line, but it was a poor kick. Puts Daly under pressure, but he does well. Eludes a player, has a bounce, goes in short to Storer, who made a lot of ground.
There,
yes, he ran 50 metres then and did well, and he's gone in short looking for O'Brien, and he doesn't let him down, and he's taken a mark, but he's going to find it a difficult shot from that dead pocket there on his wrong foot.
It right through the middle. I'll put the Moz on him, George, but I reckon he'll bang it. Left footers, they just don't miss, do they?
Here we go again.
Well spoken by a true left footer, Mick, but it's O'Brien, and he's running in, and it looks good off the boot. And Mick will never let it down because he has put it right through the high little bit.
Got a crick in the neck, the goal umpire there, as it went over his head. That was no problems at all.
Yes, and that was a wonderful goal by Paul O'Brien on the GV Recycling scoreboard. Thanks very much, Mr. GV Recycling there, Fitzy.
We've had
at the 5 minute mark
gents black watch handed in, also a set of keys handed in at the broadcast point.
131, and
those boys get off the shelter down at the western end of the ground, please.
Well, Storer, didn't he? He messed it up initially, but he got down there and made that extra man.
Yes, and he ended up getting the goal. Which,
okay, good stuff. It was good, and it's down with Rourke, and he got the ball down for Rochester, but it's a free kick being awarded to Stuart Palmer, and he goes long, but it was a bad kick off the side of the boot, and it allows Poole to take a mark for Euroa, and he goes out wide looking for Luption, but it was a poor kick, but he makes it well and eludes two players and runs around the boundary and kicks in short looking for Mills, and he gets the handball across the top to Daly, but he can't take the ball with him. It gives Rochester the opportunity to relieve the pressure, which they'll do through Warren Martin, and he goes out wide to the wing area, and it's Hooper takes a strong mark, and he's looking for options, and he goes across the ground into centre half forward looking for McPhee, but he was outnumbered. The ball's hit the ground, and it gives Putamorsi the chance to tidy up, and he does nicely back across to Hooper, but Euroa are going to clear. Well, they were about to clear, and he was well tackled by Miller, and it was Gavin Williams.
I tell you what, Mr. Gravina and Putamorsi, or Mr. Putamorsi, I think it is, he looks very sore. He doesn't look well. We've got Old sitting back here, but they messed up a golden opportunity there, Euroa. There's the throw in about 20 metres around. Con gets up high. Harvey picks it up, kicks it out wide looking for Cornish, coming in understood, and he's won it ball beautifully. Runs into his own player, but he's got plenty of backup. He kicks the ball there. Morrissey, I think that is, or Tate up there, but sitting underneath it is kicked, and he doesn't look fit. And I tell you what, an interesting statistic is number 1, Nigel van der Veer, has touched the ball twice for Rochester. Picking it up, there's Con, kicks it out wide to no one in particular. He had 17 options out here. Leading in the race beautifully was Stuart Palmer. He kicks it up centre full forward. Robbie Miller, one of his first touches, picks it up, has a blast and misses an absolute sitter. Sitter.
It was Darren
Hooper. Sorry, Robbie, but Darren, you should have made better of that. But had the ball 15 metres out, unopposed, blasted away. But there you go. On the GV Recycling scoreboard, Euroa moved to 5-7-37 to Rochester 5-2-32.
You noticed last week Robbie Miller did all the damage in the early part. He's only had one possession so far.
Yeah, they've got some passengers today, people who think. There's the kick out right to the 50 metre. And a magnificent mark there being taken by Coach. He hands it off very nicely to Brody, I think that is. He kicks it to centre half forward. Up they go. Van der Veer playing himself centre half back. The ball's leading in the race there, and a big kick, and he's lobbed it right now. Broadcasting position there was number 27 for John Keogh, and he's a bit of a mystery man. I don't know where he came from. I tell you what, Euroa, if they can capitalise here and kick another goal, it'll be very interesting, because there's a lot of sore players here for Rochester. Coming through is Brody again. Beautiful kick, but sitting behind there, Holman leads in the race, picks it up, he's under pressure. Harvey intercepts the ball. Tapped down nicely, but the boundary line beats them all over. I tell you what, they're starting to stop to a walk, Rochester, I'll tell you that now.
It's pretty warm out there,
we've only played 10 minutes into the second quarter, but they're starting to look very sluggish, and I don't think Nigel van der Veer is fit. There you go, Con taps it down. Beautiful play by that Keogh. He's spun out of the pack, but the umpire says, give it to me, and they're starting to look a little bit ominous, and we're waiting for number 54, Darren Chugg, to interchange in the ruck. But it'll be very interesting if they kick the next goal, I think.
Okay, and
Con
it's
taps
Con.
it out the Storer, but Mills kicks it up to centre forward. No one wants to go after it. Ball bounces high, tapping it on is O'Brien. Comes down here to Gravina. He picks it up, kicks it 25 yards. Number 23, but I tell you what, they're under siege. Rochester are under siege, I'll tell you that now.
Bit of a crude attempt at a shepherd there by a
Keep going, George,
player.
because I can't see a thing through that
Yeah, it is a bad
window.
spot there, but it's the boundary umpire has brought the ball back into play, and it was Con and Chug, but Kevin Storer, using his strength, tries to break his way through the pack, but to no avail, and he couldn't take the ball with him, and it's ended up with a bit of a scrum there, and umpire Pell will bounce the ball again, and that was Daly who lifted himself from the bottom of the pack there for Euroa, and we're waiting for Con and...
Half-time at VFA, and the half-time scores are Springvale 8-11-59 leading Williamstown 6-4-30.
Ooh, 29 points down, Mick. Anyway, back at this game, and it's Bree who tries to mark, but he couldn't, and it's going to be cleared by Palmer, and he goes out wide to the wing looking for Hooper, but it's a bad bounce, and it gives Brodie the chance to tidy up, and he goes long with a hand pass to James Cornish. But his was a poor attempt, and it's back over there with Taylor now, but he slips at the crucial moment, and the ball has... no, it hasn't. It stayed in play, and it was cleared by Chug, and he goes in short to Putamorsi, but he was too short then, and the Euroa player was able to force the ball away. That was Burke, and it's out on the centre wing right in front of the scoreboard now, and it gives Warren Martin a chance, but he's under siege, fighting very hard for the ball, and it gives Brodie the chance now, and he goes over the top with a hand pass to Storer, and he ducks and weaves, but didn't take the ball with him, but backing up nicely was Dodger Mills, and he goes wide to Tate, and he's in short to Daly, and he's just outside 50. And he's looking for a lead from O'Brien. He leads into the pocket and does it well, but chipping in was a Rochester player, Carmen I think it was, and got hands to ball. And Vanderveer showing a bit of strength, and he gets one of his very few touches, but has kicked it over the line and out of bounds.
Well, he's definitely not fit, because he's not showing what he usually does, because he has not even got anywhere near the football today, so he might have dudded himself. And Euroa have been a little bit cute, I think, at this stage. They keep looking for one player. Morrison actually picks it up. He chips it in here beautifully to Mills, and he's marked about 40 metres out directly in front. But they're playing pretty football, Rochester. Gary Con, I should say. But they're playing pretty football up on their forward line, aren't they, Fitzy?
Yes, and if they kick this goal, as you said before, they look as if they could kick it a couple more to go on with it.
And he's kicked it all right. The goal umpire's got out of the way, because it would have given another crick in the neck, and he's put it right through the middle on the GV Recycling scoreboard, Fitzy. Is that the one?
That's
GV
the one.
Recycling, and they've gone to 6 goals, 7-43. Euroa to Rochester, 5 goals, 2-32, and they're looking very ominous, George. Rochester, Euroa, aren't they?
They certainly are, Mick, and I know it's only 11 points at this stage, but in such a tight game, that's a pretty handy lead. And we're back in the centre, and it's Bush back on the ground now, and he's in contest with Chug, but it goes down to Keogh, and he gets the ball down to the half-forward line looking for Miller, but he had it punched away by Gavin Williams, and it gives Hooper the chance, and he does well to elude a couple of players, and he has a bounce, and he runs through the half-forward line, lines them up, and on the run, it's a very nice goal.
Beautiful goal.
Very nice goal by Darren Hooper. And just as we say, it looked as if Euroa might be starting to shake the hackles a bit. Rochester have shown us to be wrong, and it was Hooper showing a lot of class then to elude those two players.
He ran round 2 of them, and he just left them standing. A terrible exhibition there from 2 of the Rochester players, but Euroa, but there you go. Every time we bag them, you've got to give them their due. They've kicked 6 goals too, so when they go forward, they're a big threat. We're waiting for umpire Freer to put the ball down. He does. Up they go. The ball's tapped down. Not going in very strongly there is the Rochester player. It's tapped down, but picking it up there is, I don't know who that is. Bush, was it?
Bush, yes. He just come back on the ground.
Mills picks it up, just kicks it quickly up to the forward line. They sit there. Euroa in numbers. Going in strongly there is Old. He's playing in the back pocket, I think, now. But Harvey goes in after the footy. And the umpire says,
holding the
ball, was it?
And
Had he plucked that out?
Who's going to take the free kick, Mick, and he doesn't waste any time, and he plays on and goes out wide, but it was a poor kick, and it gave Taylor the opportunity for Euroa, and he takes a nice mark running running backwards, and he goes in looking for Gary Conn, and that's the man.
Oh, what a good grab that was.
I've got a lot of raps for this fella, Mick. I've only seen him play a few times, but by gee, he shows all the qualities that grand finals are won by, and he's looking good at this stage.
He's had a great final series, hasn't he? When they've asked him for the effort, he's been there and done that. So there you go. So he will come in and shoot 45 degrees, 20 metres out. In he comes, puts the ball on the boot, dreadful kick. You give him a rap, and what do? And the umpire says 1 behind. So on the GV Recycling scoreboard, they move on to 6 goals, 8-44 to Rochester, 6 goals, 2-36. There's the kick, and sitting underneath it is Vanderveer. He's running down the wing. Steady, kicks the ball long to the half-forward flank. Sitting underneath it there is Euroa, picking it up and relieving the pressure. But he's kicked it straight back to Vanderveer. But unfortunately, went in with the elbow. Very nicely
you
there.
can't put your head down.
And he hurt himself more than he hurt O'Neill, and he will be. He's done his knee. There's the hand pass over to Morrison. Morrison hands it off to to Cornish. He's just come on the ground. Cornish, I should say. He kicks it to centre half forward. Porter Mosey ducked his head, and the umpire says, yeah, you can have the free kick. Darryl O'Neill's in a bit of trouble out here. He's done the knee, I would say, or got a corky. I don't know, but there's the kick out there to Mick Old. Mick Old sits underneath it, does it nicely. Kicks it on the left foot, up to the ground. Sitting underneath it there is Veering. He punches it clear. Going in strongly there was McPhee, I think, and Darryl O'Neill limps off the ground. He'll be a real big loss. I think I don't know if he's done the hamstring or the knee or whatever.
I think he hurt his knee in that clash with the Euroa player. The Euroa player ducked his head and made contact with his knee. There was nothing sinister in it. It was just an unfortunate collision.
There's the kick from Harvey out there, the centre half foot. No, Breeze come well out. He runs on the left foot, chips it in there, and he finds his opposite number in. What happened there?
He tried to keep it in play, I think, Mick. And
what sort of a hand pass was that one, Fitzy?
He should have been penalised for throwing the ball.
Yeah, he did it. He did it well, though. He threw it 40 yards backwards. But there you go. We've got a throw in about 30 metres around from Euroa's goal, and we've played 18 minutes into this quarter. There's the throw in. It comes down. The Flanagan got the football, kicks it up towards Carmen, but the ball's punched out of his hands and over the line. We'll have yet another throw in. But they've relieved the pressure a little bit there, Rochester. And I tell you what, if Darryl O'Neill doesn't come back on the ground, he wasn't playing all that well, but he's a player that can really fire up, and it'll be a big loss. That'll mean 2 off. There's the throw-in. The ball comes down, punched on there by Rourke, I think it is. Comes down here to Chug. Chug runs through the ground, kicks it long to centre half forward for Rochester, sitting underneath it there and taking a good mark.
That's Rourke this
time.
Yeah,
Rourke, sorry.
They've got him at centre half forward now. Forward, they're making a few changes and trying to confuse us a little bit.
That's right.
It's Rourke with the ball this time, and
they don't have to try too hard, George, to confuse us. But there's the kick. Up goes Edwards, but the ball's punched away this time, out over the boundary line in the forward pocket. So on the GV Recycling scoreboard, it's 6 goals, 8 Euroa versus Rochester, 6 goals to 38. So we've certainly got a game on our hands here.
Okay, and it's going to be Rourke and Bush awaiting the boundary throw-in, and Rourke gets hands to the ball, but he was well tackled, couldn't get anywhere with it, and Veering bursts through the pack, tries to take the ball with him, but couldn't control it. And I'm not sure whether it's the boundary umpire that's... no, the central umpire's decided to bounce it up right on the line.
They've done a great job, the umpires. I mean, I'm not their greatest fans, but today they've been sensational.
No, they haven't missed a thing today, Mick, and credit where credit's due. They've done a top job, and it's back with Bush, and he tried to get it down there to the little fellow in Harvey, I think it was, but he couldn't control it, and it's gone off hands, and it's over the line, and we'll have another boundary throw-in, and it's boundary umpire Ryan, I think it is, who's in control of the situation, and he's about to bring it back into play, which he does. And it's over the top, coming over the top was Old that time, but he was well tackled, tried to burst his way through the pack, but umpire Freer said the ball was held to him, and I'll bounce it up again.
What chance of free kick here?
Yes, it's got a bit scrambly, Mick. And here we go, and it's Bush. He can't get hands to the ball. Southwell tries to take it with him, but it was the little fellow in Harvey who burst his way through, and he's got it across the top to Williams, and he's come out wide towards James Cornish, I think it is, and he's gone in short to Brody, but it's a bad bounce, and it's beaten him, and it's gone over the line and out of bounds.
Not a bad couple of youngsters there, Shane Dupay and young Brody, is it? You couldn't mark Brody. You couldn't find a couple of better players if you hunted anywhere.
No, they've showed a lot of class.
Right, there's the throw in right in front of us. Up they go, coming through. Harvey shows great speed, burns them all off. Has one bounce, runs to the half-forward line, kicks it long into the centre. Two Euroa Rochester players went up, and there's no way known that he marked that, but the umpire said, you can have it. So Stuart Palmer's got the footy, kicks it out wide here to Dupay. He hands it off to number
Robbie Miller on the back line.
Well, he hasn't had a kick anywhere else, so he's got to go somewhere. Last year he had the purple patch, but unfortunately Robbie hasn't been in the footy yet at this stage, but knowing his class, he'll probably fight his way back. But we've got to throw in about 70 metres around between the wing and the half-forward flank for Euroa. So we're waiting for the boundary umpire to put it in, and then it comes. Up they go. Con goes up in the air. The ball spills free. Sand passed out here to Veering. He hands it off here to Harvey, I think it is. But he's dispossessed. Down they go. The ball's kicked out of the pack, and leading in the race there was Peter Taylor, but he's been dispossessed, and the umpire says, let's have another throw in. Well, what do you reckon, Fitzy? They're hanging in there, aren't they? Rochester, you can't...
Just hanging in, that's all at the moment.
Yeah, but there you go. If you can hang in long enough till half-time. There's the throw-in. The ball's tapped down. Miller comes through the pack. Kicks it on the left foot up to centre forward, and taking a strong mark there was Jeremy Rourke at centre forward, and he's through the ring. He kicks it right into the goal square. Edwards has got it. He's dropped it. He's grabbed it. There's holding the ball, but doesn't matter. The umpire said play on.
Oh, play on again.
Umpire, no. He's paid, definitely dropping the ball. You'd have to tip over it if he didn't see that one. But
no, that was an unfortunate mistake there.
But it was good effort though, wasn't it?
Yes,
There's the kick out, picking it up for Rochester on the half-back flank is Gavin Williams. He kicks it right up here to Brody. Brody, and dropping it was poor, terrible miss. Gary Harvey grabs it and just throws it straight over the boundary line. But meanwhile, Mr. Mills has said you're not going anywhere for your kick at that stage, Stuart Palmer, and he grabbed him by the jumper and stopped him. And I'll tell you what, there's no good pointing, you've got to stop it. There's the kick from Poole up to the, to Palmer, up to the thing, picking it up there and being dispossessed. But Harvey, he's starting to exert his influence on this game, George.
Yes,
so 6 or 7 kicks, beautiful mark there. Up Old comes out. Oh, umpire, whatever happened to the... he took the mark, whatever happened to the advantage rule, but Dupay, a beautiful mark there. He chips the ball in, and chipping in beautifully there and taking a great mark is Brody. He looks for some options. He plays on. They all stood watching him. Umpire, you've made a blue there because he shouldn't have been anywhere near the ground. There's the kick up to the thing, and T.O. marks it. He's got us all flummoxed. There's the kick, and Darby Morrison, a magnificent mark. And I tell you what,
a lot of courage then, Mick.
Didn't tickle either when he hit the ground. I tell you what, for a bloke who's come back, he was quite happy to hand it off there to number 16 in James Cornish. He pumps it out to the wing, and that man, Mr. Lupson, picks it. Not too many of them running at him, but his kick's been intercepted, and he's got a bit cute. There's the ball. He's put Mr. Carman down, so we've got a free kick. And who's got it? Mickey Old, I think.
Yeah.
He comes in on the left foot, squares the ball to centre forward. Up they go, and in the back. Oh, a bit of panic there from Mr. Southall. Bad free kick, yes.
Yep, and that's going to give your Rochi the chance to get back into it, Mick.
Well, if he kicks this, you'll even the score, Hooper, and too easy. There was no need for that, was there?
It might sound odd that we say that it'll put them back in it, even though there's only a goal of difference, but it seems so obvious that Euroa have been in control, yet they haven't been able to break the shackles completely, and that was a nice goal by Hooper, and I think that's his second goal this quarter.
Second goal for this quarter.
Yeah, and scores are level here at the 24-minute mark on the GV Recycling scoreboard. It's Euroa 6-8-44 and Rochester 7-2-44, and scores are level. And look, I'm just amazed that Rochester are really still in this game. Mick, Euroa have had all the play, and they just haven't been able to convert.
But you can't knock them, can you? Because every time that the chips have been down, the Rochester players have risen to the occasion.
So we're back to an even ball game.
That's right. It must be worrying for Euroa, because they should be well and truly in control. There's the bounce in the centre. It comes out, running in there. And
Portamosi's
gone. He's done the shoulder.
Yeah,
I don't know what's wrong with him. He hit the
Rourke has
ground.
taken the mark. He's well within kicking range. Mick, I'm sorry to interrupt, but looks like Euroa might have blown it, and Rochi could go in with a break at half-time because Rourke's not all that far out. He's about 45 metres, and it looks good off the boot. And it's through for one behind, but Rochi have hit the front for the first time.
That's right, and Portamosi looks in a lot of trouble. The ground out here is rock hard. He's a gutsy player. He won't say no. I think he's really in trouble because he's holding
the ribs
his shoulder and the shoulder, and I think,
Kevin Storr and Nigel Vanderveer have just decided
here
to
they
exchange
go. They're just
pleasantries.
going to have a bit of a dash, I think. But meanwhile, you described the footy, George, and I'll describe the
football's
fight.
on the centre wing at the moment, and there's a boundary. There's going to be a ball up. So what's going on down there behind play, Mick?
No, they've decided to call it quits, but I tell you what, Mr. Portamosi is not fit at all.
Nice knockdown by Chug, and it goes straight to Miller, and he had a head-high tackle, and Storr is going to go in the book for that one.
Missed it. No, that's
an attempted strike to the head if I know anything about what I just
with
saw.
all due respect, that's a joke. If you get off, hello, Mr. Pell's running from 100 yards away.
Yeah, but
what about the
that's part of the
tribunal?
course,
Here's the tribunal. The blows were not severe. You struck him, and he's going up for attempted strike.
I would believe, well, look, I might be proved wrong, but if the charge doesn't read attempted striking, I'll be very surprised.
That's
And the fact that other umpire ran in then from 55 metres away, I think that's just part of the course.
And the other thing about this, they
in.
found a guy not guilty the other day for actually striking because the blows weren't severe.
Okay, but it's Robbie Miller, and he's decided to kick it down to the half-forward line, and it's Anthony McPhee who takes a nice mark in front of John Deering, and things are starting to warm up a bit again.
You're not in charge, Mr. Freer. Get away. You're not the umpire in charge. You're not the umpire in charge. How can he run 50 metres to give him 50 metres? Oh, that is unbelievable. I mean, I do bag him, but fair. We've got umpire Pell who was controlling the game. Another bloke runs 55 metres from the wing to give a 50-metre penalty. What's going on?
Yeah, look, I couldn't make comments because I was watching I was calling the game and I watched the mark. I wasn't aware of who was actually in control from the central umpire's point of view. It was a lovely mark by McPhee, and he's converted to a goal. And now what do you think about the front?
The last 5 minutes, the umpires have just gone from a top job to ordinary.
Well, they have made a few mistakes of late, but
how could a guy, and Portamosi is in heaps of strife. I'll tell you that now. I mean, he's a gutsy player, I know that. He doesn't give anything away, but he's in a lot of trouble down here with his shoulder, and I don't know, they're in a bit of trouble, Rochester, but not on the scoreboard. They're 7 points in front on the GV recycling scoreboard. 60?
I think the only way that Pell could have reported Storr was he must have been up here looking on the monitor with us.
There you go. There's the tap in anyway. They've got a run on here, Rochester, but Deering's got the footy, doesn't quite get it, taps it down, and it's all Rochester. Portamosi hands it off and running in his Hooper, and Hooper goes bang, he's put it right through the middle. So they've got a run on the Rochester Football Club. They haven't shown any problems about who's getting down and who's playing what. They've just gone right on with the job. And at the 28-minute mark of this quarter, they've moved to 9 goals, 367 to Euroa, 6 goals, 8-44. So they've been completely outplayed in this quarter, but on the scoreboard, they've done the job, George.
In the last 4 minutes, Nick, Rochester have turned a 9-point deficit into a 13-point advantage.
That's right, and they've done it very well too.
And it's back in the centre, and it's Con back on the ball now for Euroa, and he's got the tap down to Mills, but he's dispossessed by Miller, and he gets it out wide, and it's Keogh trying to run the ball with him, but finally Aldy gets it out to Flanagan, and he goes long and tapping down the half-forward line unattended, with his opponent John Deering lagging 15 metres behind with Anthony McPhee. And
my spies tell me John Deering fell off a roof during the week down at in Euroa or things like that. So
could be carrying a bit.
Yeah, I think he might be. But if he bangs this through, he'll be carrying more than a bit.
And it's Anthony McPhee, and he runs in, looks good off the boot, and it looks good all right. The umpire for Corin Nick Sprague. He's got a quick net because that one went right through the high diddle. And your Rochester have completely outplayed Euroa in this last 6 minutes. And on the GV Recycling scoreboard at the 29-minute mark, it's Rochester 10-3, 63, and they've opened up a 19-point advantage over Euroa. 6-8, 44.
14 shots to 13, and that's gone completely against the runner play, but you can't knock them. But they've got a free kick.
Another centre square infringement.
Who's running this game? Turn it up. Why can't he take it?
Don't know. He's given it back to Gary Conn, and he's going to go long, straight up the centre. O'Bree's outnumbered, and it was Kick who came across the front and fisted the ball, but it's Lupson who was first to the ball, and he tries to elude a couple of players, but in doing so he was grabbed around the shoulder, and he'll get a free kick. That's if umpire Freer doesn't take it off him for what O'Bree just did, but anyway, he's going to leave things as they stand, and it's Lupson who's about 40 metres out, right on the boundary line. And what's that, Andrews? Was that Robbie Andrews just showed his
Robbie Andrews, yes, he's come in and out of the club room. He's been watching you,
me. Mr. Lupson has kicked an absolute beautiful goal, a magnificent goal. You can hear the hoop.
Well, I wasn't giving him any attention, Nick.
That's right, I watched it. He's gone back with a torpedo putt and he's put it right through the middle. So he mightn't be the crowd's #1 favourite, but he's showed that he's got no mug, and he's belted it right through the middle. And on the GV Recycling scoreboard, that's exactly what the Euroa needed. They moved to 7 goals, 8 50, still trailing Rochester 10 goals, 363, but that was an absolute lifesaver for him. The ball's come up in the centre. Vanderveer leads in it. He runs out of the centre, kicks it to full forward, but lagging behind. Straight into their eyes. You can't see that. And the umpire's picked out a free kick, and it's gone to
John Douglas.
John Douglas, yeah. They were pretty happy about that. He hand passes the ball over here. They're standing still. Hand passes to no one in particular. Dreadful football. And I tell you what, it's put him Aussie's fit. Oh, go he.
I tell you what, Nick, this last 6 or 7 minutes, Euroa have just got, they've lost it. They've been rattled.
That's right.
Rochester have really taken over.
I tell you what, but it might be the freshness is what they said about Kevin Storer said, hand pass there to Rourke, to Old squares the ball. Robbie Miller gets up high but didn't mark it. Going in strongly is Storer, he didn't get it. Taylor's got it, is it there? Ball comes down, Storer hand pass it out. No, he's dispossessed. Harvey shows great guts, kicks it up there.
Oh, did not even attempt to get
look at the ball, and he said play on the umpire, and it happened right in front of him. So forget me. I don't know what's going on.
There now is
Put Mosey's marked the ball, and if he lasts the rest of the game, it'll be very interesting. But he's marked the ball 20 metres out. It might be his last kick in this footy match, but I'll tell you what, he's going to make him pay because he's marked 20 metres out on a 45-degree angle, David Portamozzi, and he will put it right through the middle. I'll tell you that now because he doesn't miss, because it might be the last kick that he has in this footy match. In he comes, they're waiting for him. He puts the ball on the boot and he's hooked it a mile. So every time you give him a rap, they kick a point. But it doesn't matter. Excellent last 8 minutes when Rochester, they moved to 10 goals, 464 to Euroa. 7 goals, 850 at half-time here. The walking wounded are coming off, actually.
And shoulder, Nigel Vanderveer's not 100% fit, and I think Gravina was appeared to be suffering from asthma. He was on an asthma pump at half-time.
Well, might have been even David Putamorzi, but we won't go into that. But they still lead by 14 points. Fitzy, what do you think? Can they hang on or what?
No, I think Euroa still will be the fresher side and take the premiership.
Righto, so we're waiting for umpire Freer to put the ball down, and here we go. Once again, there it goes in the centre. And we've got Con up. He gets a tap on. It's knocked on by Poole, but it goes to Robbie Miller, who hand passes it very nicely there to Dupay. Dupay gives it across there to Kick, and Kick kicks the ball out wide, and a good mark there taken by McPhee. He kicks it up and under the forward line, and Veering takes a great grab sitting underneath the ball about 25 metres out. He relieves the pressure, but he just kicks it off the hands of his opponent. He kicked it into the man on the mark. Unforgivable. McPhee goes in, but he taps it over. I think that's Flanagan kicks it towards the forward line. I'm just looking, and the umpire's running back, and he's said, let's take it back. And I think it's a free kick, George, isn't it? To
over the line and out of bounds on the full. It was, Mick, yeah, and that attempted shot, and it's going to be John Douglas who'll take the resultant free kick and try and relieve for Euroa, and he goes straight up the centre of the ground. But once again, the umpire Pell has called the ball back yet again, and he's making him kick over the mark.
What's he talking about? He just can't go across the ground. I mean, they might teach these blokes the rules at some stage. It doesn't matter. He's chipped the ball there. I think that's Mr. Taylor, isn't he? Kicks it right up the centre half-back flank, and the ball comes off hands and out of bounds. They amaze me at times. They amaze me.
Yes, I couldn't understand why he was called back on that second occasion, but anyway, it's going to be a boundary throw in, and it's Bush and his opponent there from Rochester was Jeremy Rourke, and the ball has made its way down to the Rochester half full forward line, and it's gone across the face of goals and through for one behind.
And that was Mr. Putamorzi, and he got put down very nicely by Mr. Storr. He's going to test out his injuries, and I tell you what, didn't do him any good at all.
And it's Gavin Williams that kicks out from fullback and looking for Storr out on the half forward line, but he was well backed up by Poole, and he's kicked the ball around the further around the wing area, and it's gone over the line and out of bounds just in front of the Frears panel scoreboard here. And after 3 minutes of play in the third quarter, it's Rochester 10-5-65 leading Euroa 7-8-50.
Fitchy, they keep persisting kicking the ball short, Euroa. Don't know why.
Yes, they need to get on with the job now, don't they, really, when...
Now they've got the opportunity through Cornish, and he runs the ball through the centre, and he gives it to Mills, and he kicks in short looking for O'Brien, but it was intercepted by Carman, and he's going to relieve for Rochester, and he kicks back towards the centre area, but it's Taylor for Euroa, but he was well beaten by Hooper, and he picked the ball up and kicked it out wide looking for Mick Auld, and he doesn't let him... No, it's not, it's Jeremy Rourke. He's taken the mark on the half-forward line, and he goes cross goal looking for Putamorzi, but it's Chris Burke who marks for Euroa, and he goes out wide this time looking for Bush, and now they've got the opportunity to run the ball out of the back line, and Bush goes out wide to the wing looking for Brodie, but it was a misdirected kick, and it's beaten all the players over the line and out of bounds.
He didn't have too many options,
no,
George, did he? I mean, the classic thing about Euroa when they played at Chuka, they went straight up the middle, but at the moment they're going out wide, and it's costing them deals.
I think Bush was at fault then, Mick. He should have had a bounce then and actually ran the ball out of the back line. He let them down, but it's back there from that boundary throw in, and it was I think Brodie now who's got the ball, and he's going to run it through the half forward line. He goes in short looking for Tate, and he marks right on the 50-metre line, and he's looking for options at this stage, but there's not much happening down there, so he decides to go long to the point of the square, and it's O'Brien had the chance to mark but couldn't control it, and it's going to be Vanderveer who clears for Rochester, and he kicks to Flanagan, and must have just been the bare 10 metres that one, and umpire Freer has paid the mark, and it's going to be Flanagan out there in the back pocket, and he decides to go long out towards the wing, and looks like another Rochester player in a bit of trouble at the moment. It's Martin Kick there behind play, holding his face, so something went on there, and he didn't come out of that looking too well, and umpire Freer further back down the ground has awarded a free kick to Bush.
And Vanderveer had the hands and on the hips, so I tell you what, as I said, they're in a bit of trouble.
But it's Martin Kick who's taken a nice timely mark in front of the pack for Rochester, and he's going to play on, and he goes out wide to Holman, and he kicks the ball out towards the wing, but coming through nicely for Euroa was James Cornish, and he takes a nice mark, but he played on, and it was Bush who eventually got boot to ball, and he's kicked out wide looking for Lupson, but the boundary line's beaten them all.
Well, Euroa they're dominating the possession caper, but they're just not doing anything with the ball. Righto, we've got a throw in about 60 metres around from Euroa's goal. There's the throw, and up they go. Con, beautiful punch in the open. Leading in the race there was Storr. It's knocked on very nicely by Harvey. Lupson comes through, shows great pace, and bangs it right through the middle. And I tell you what, he showed a bit of courage there. And the umpire says we're waiting for it because there's a little bit of indiscretion as to what's going on. One goal, yes. So that's the one they needed, Euroa, to put him back in the game, and he didn't shirk the issue there at any stage. He might be the bogey man as far as the Rochester supporters are concerned, but he just ran straight at the footy, picked it up and banged it through. So on the Freer Panel Works scoreboard, that moves on Euroa to 8 goals, 8-56, still trailing Rochester, 10 goals, 5-65.
He seems to have a clear run towards goal when he gets the ball, Mick.
Yeah, well, there you go. Right, there's the bounce in the middle. Up you go. Beautiful tap down there from Con. Poole gets it and kicks it right to centre. Full forward. Up they go. O'Brien, the ball's punched clear. It's in dispute at centre forward. Mills goes in strongly. It's still in dispute. Going in strongly there is Euroa. They snap it back. Lupson sitting underneath it. Kick goes up high but does fail to hold the mark. But picking it up and clearing nicely there is Flanagan, I think it was. But it goes straight through his teammate's leg. But Dupay swings it back up here to centre forward. But Veering's taken the third of 3 very good marks here at centre back to repel the attack. The kick is dreadful. But the ball spills free. Coming through there once again was Flanagan. He hands it off to Hooper, but Hooper's been bustled out of it. But the umpire says in the back, so the free kick right on the wing. Is that Hooper or Dupay? Dupay. Right in front of the scoreboard, the Lloyd Freer scoreboard. He kicks it up here, and he's found Portamosian. I tell you what, he's a gutsy player, this man, because he's hurt. He kicks it into full forward, sitting underneath it. He was Edwards.
Lovely mark.
And Brody has taken a great grab, because otherwise it was a certain goal for Rochester, and he's marked about 5 metres out. He kicks the ball out here to the wind, looking for Mills. Mills leads in the race and marks comfortably on the half-back flank. He's got heaps of people down here. He kicks it out here, and marking on his chest there is David Tate. He plays on, chips it into the centre. The ball bounces kindly. He's out-possessed and he's been upended, but the umpire says no problems. And in goes the Rochester coach, and he organises himself very nicely. Kicks the ball out nicely for Robbie Miller. He chips it into Old, and they're looking the goods at the moment, and you're gone.
Oh, that's a very good tackle.
Yeah, and the umpire said play on, which is good, but they've stopped to a walk both sides. Harvey gets it. Kicks it long up to centre forward. No one underneath it except Flanagan. He hand passed it over. The umpire's called play on, but Mr. O'Brien met him very solidly. So I'd say they're down to 14, but Putamorzi's got the football. Runs off the half-forward flank, kicks it long to centre forward. Up they go. Edwards up high. He can't control the ball. Does well to recover. Beautiful hand pass to McPhee. McPhee lines it up and puts it right through the middle for Rochester. So that's a great effort from them, and the Freer Panel Works scoreboard. They move along very nicely here to 11 goals, 5-71 to Euroa. 8 goals, 8-56, and it might be the last man standing affair, but Rochester are still going along strongly, George.
Yes, and they make the most of their opportunities, Mick. They've only had the ball down in their forward line on 2 occasions so far in this first 10 minutes, but they were able to convert that time and maintain their lead. And it's back in the centre with Chug and Bush. Bush gets hands to ball, and it gives Storer the opportunity, but he runs into a wall of Rochester players and can't get anywhere, but he's still in there fighting hard for the footy. And he made sure that if he didn't get it, no one else got it. And umpire Freer has decided that he'll start proceedings once again with another bounce. And it's probably proceeded about 5 or 10 metres in Rochester's favour after that. But it's back with Chug and Bush, and it's Euroa. But the hand pass was intercepted by Vanderveer, and he kicks long down to full forward, looking for Edwards, and he doesn't let him down. Takes a nice mark. Awarded a 50-metre penalty for an infringement after the mark had been taken, and that was Douglas, number 45 for Euroa, who infringed there on Edwards, and because he was only 12 or 14 metres out at the time, the umpire, as is the common practice now with the 50 metres, brings him right in front and 1 metre out.
I tell you what, they're in desperate straits here, Euroa, because he'll bang this right through the middle, which he does. So on the Freers Panel Works scoreboard, they move along to 12 goals, 5-71. And Edwards, 60, how many goals has he kicked?
That's his 5th goal.
And he's done the job from in both semi-final, in the final, so there you go. So they lead Euroa 8 goals, 8-56, so 21 points. Can they come back, George?
It's going to be a hard task for them from here, Nick, because it's hot out there, and there's been a lot of physical clashes in the game already, and that really saps the energy of players, and it'll be a superhuman effort from Euroa if they're able to get back into it from here, because we're about 11 or 12 minutes into this third quarter, and they're trailing by 21 points and they've got the big job in front of them, and it's back now in the centre, and it's Gary Conn who gets the ball down to Freer, to Storer, and he turns on his left and then gives a hand pass out wide to Veering, and he goes wide looking for Brodie, and he doesn't let him down, and he takes a mark and plays on immediately and swings around onto that left foot, looking down there for O'Brien, and he's in front but can't control the ball, and he's hotly pursued by Holman, and the boundary line is going to be the victor at this stage, and it's gone over the line, and we'll await the boundary umpire to start proceedings again. But this is a vital attacking move, this one by Euroa. They need the goal here to keep themselves in touch, but it's Warren Martin who grabs the ball out of the pack, and hand passes to no one in particular, and it's caused a pack of players to develop, and the umpire is going to bounce the ball yet again, and things are looking pretty desperate for Euroa at this stage. They've had a lot of the play, but they've let themselves down badly in the forward line, and they need to start converting if they're to make a game of this. And it's Daly who gets the ball knocked down him and gives him the opportunity, and he's done just what I said he needed to do.
Not a bad conversion, was it? He banged it right through the middle, George. A great goal, just the fillip that they really needed. He beautiful tap down, ran on the right foot on the boundary line and banged it through from 45 metres out. Fitzy, well, come on.
No, they're still in the game. I'll stick by my prediction at the start of the game.
17 points.
Yes, I'll still stick by that too.
Fair enough. So on the scoreboard, the Freer Panel Works scoreboard, they move along to 9 goals, 8-62. Rochester 12-5, 77. There's the tap down. The ball's kicked from Tate up to centre forward, sitting underneath it. Storer goes in
didn't
strongly,
take it with him.
but picking it up very nicely and doing it on the bit there is Gary Conn. Kicks it up long to the forward line. It spills free. Storer backs up, taps it out to Harvey. Quick hand pass here to Mills. Mills has it up and under, and the umpire says a free kick. Wait a minute,
he'll
we'll
pay
go
it
back.
downfield.
Is it? No, he won't pay it downfield because it's gone through for a point. I don't know what's going on here. He's going back to consult with the umpire, and he will pay it up here. He gives him the option of another kick.
Yep.
Unfortunately, there should have been a Euroa player and punched it forward. Then he would have given it. But the free kick's gone to
Roger Mills.
Roger Mills dead in front, and if they need a goal, I tell you what, this could be the difference between winning a premiership and not. So he's got the ball exactly 25 metres out, directly in front, and if they ever want a goal to be kicked, Euroa, this is it, because Rochester 12-5, 77, lead Euroa 9-8, 62. In he comes, runs in, puts it on the way, and the umpire says no problems about that, Mr. Mills. It's right through the centre, so they move a little bit closer on the Freer Panel Works scoreboard. We've played 14 minutes and they move to 10 goals, 8-62 to Rochester, 12 goals, 5-77. So 15 points the difference, and you're still sticking with that 17 points.
Yes, that's Mills' 13th kick at centre forward, and he's taken 7 marks.
Oh, that's right, so they should be winning by 10 goals, Euroa, and they're not.
No, they've been mucking around a fair bit, as you've said.
Righto, we're waiting for umpire Pell. He puts it down, a beautiful bounce in the centre. Up they go, the ball's tapped down, comes down very strongly, Old goes in, it spills free. Picking it up and handing it off there was number Peter Taylor. He gives it across to Veering. Veering also hands it off to Cornish, I should say. He's a very impressive player, and there's the bad man of the situation. Lupson, he picks it up and he runs around them like they're not there. That's right, when he wants to play footy, there's the kick, but Holman. And I tell you what, Mr. O'Brien has been a bit of a disappointment so far because he hasn't attacked the footy like he has, but coming through nicely and taking another good mark there is
Daly.
Yeah, and he's starting to exert his influence on this game. He's looking, but there's not too many options. There's 4-1. There's the little chip to Harvey. He goes in hard. No. But coming in strongly was there's a wayward hand pass. Number 12 for Euroa went in strongly, but David Tate, he was lucky not to get a free kick. Unlucky, I should say, not to get a free kick there, but the umpire says, give it to me, and we'll have a bounce up, and Mr. Lupson and number 1 exchange pleasantries as the ball is thrown back to the umpire. There it is, up they go. Conn gets out-pointed this time, but picking it up and being beautifully tackled there was the Euroa player. Brady tries to get it. Here's the ball. It comes out to Morrison. He gets a quick kick. No one in particular. It bounces to Flanagan. He controls it nicely. Gives off a nice hand pass there to Miller. He gives it back to Flanagan, but the ball's gone backwards. They haven't gained any ground. Back to Miller. He runs through the centre. Looks for some players up forward in Mickey Old, but he's dispossessed beautifully.
Oh, my
umpire.
goodness.
Turn it up. But he's got the footies. They've got players everywhere here. It's kicked across. Not going in very strongly. There was a Euroa player coming through very strongly. Was that Chud?
Yes.
And he's the pressure's being released by things spinning out. Harvey. He's been pinned tight.
Very good tackle
beautifully.
by Rawls.
Yeah.
Very good tackle.
But the man going for the ball hasn't been given the run of it at the moment, but all got in the centre looking for options, got none. Kicks it out wide, sitting underneath it and marking Storer, but McPhee, McPhee, very ordinary effort. He chips it up here looking for Edwards, and he's laughing because he has got 100 yards on Mr. Douglas, I think. They've got to do something about that.
That ball shouldn't have been down there, though, Mick. The Euroa player didn't put his body in and allowed an easy mark to McPhee then.
Yeah, you're right too, but he didn't attack the football at all. Well, George, this is turning into an absolute thriller. We've played 15 minutes, and Edwards is coming in for his 6th goal, puts the ball on its way, and the umpire says...
No mistake there.
No problems about it. So on the clear panel work scoreboard, they've got all the answers, Rochester, at this stage. They move along to 13 goals, 5, 83 to Euroa, 10 goals, 8, 68. And I don't know what Euroa are going to do to peg back this lead. All right, so we're waiting. George?
Yeah, I was going to say, Mick, we've said it time and time again, they've had most of the field play, yet they're behind on the scoreboard.
That's right.
Full points to Rochester there, and anyway, it's back in the centre, and it's Chug who grabs it out of the centre and tries to bustle his way through, but had his run impeded, and it was Tate who got the ball out wide to Brodie, and he's gone further afield to the half-forward line where Lupton has taken a nice mark, and he's just inside 50. He'll be a bit far out, so he goes in short, looking for his coach in Kevin Storer, and he doesn't let him down. And Storer decides to centre the ball, and it's across to David Tate, and he's about 40 metres out, and he goes further across field. And
so they've 5 kicks within the 50-metre line.
They've lost 10 metres there, Nick.
That's right. He's in front, but it's a joke. Like Kevin Storer or Tate should have kicked that. He was 35 metres out. Now we've got a kick from 45 metres. There he comes in, puts it on its way, and the ball's fallen down there, and Kick has taken a strong mark. I tell you what, can't believe it, George.
No, that was bad play, and that's probably indicative of the comments we've been making. Mick, they've had all the field play, yet they can't score goals, and you need goals to win footy matches, and even more so to win grand finals.
You can't kick them when you're chipping the ball around 25 yards out from goal.
So it's Martin Kick. He's gone out wide looking for Robbie Miller, but he's outnumbered, and it's Storer who goes in short, and it's Brodie who marks just outside 50, and he's looking further afield, but there's no one moving at this stage, so by the looks of things he's just going to go long and try and kick the ball to the point of the square, and he comes in, but he's found someone now, and it's
Cornish.
16, James Cornish,
did well,
who
good wing play there,
the
dropped in there, but he's in exactly the same position as David Tate was, who kicked the ball back 50 metres out. He's about 35 metres out, 45-degree angle, and I mean, the distance on the angle's nothing, but they tend to muck around, George. Yeah,
and they need a goal here, Mick. They're trailing at the moment, and they need a goal here to keep themselves in touch if they're to have a springboard for that final quarter. And he's come in, but doesn't look all that good off the boot, and it's through for one behind. So on the Frears panel work scoreboard here at the 19-minute mark of the third quarter, it's Euroa 10-9-69, trailing Rochester 13-5-83. And the kick, Martin Kick has kicked out, and it's gone to the half-forward line where it's Lupton who's got the ball, and he feeds it out wide to Veering, who's drifted down from the back line, but his was a poor kick. Gave Hooper the chance to relieve, but he's well backed up by Martin Kick, and he kicks in short to Vanderveer, and he marks just inside 50 on the Euroa half-forward line, and he's decided to slow things down, and he goes back, and he's going to go out wide this time looking for Hooper, who's got a bit of a break on Southwell, and takes a nice chest mark in front, and he's going to continue on down around the grandstand wing looking for Mickey Orls, and he takes a nice mark in front of Darby Morrison. And at the 20-minute mark, things are a bit of a standstill at the moment, but all's gone further forward. But John Veering takes a nice mark, and he's having a good quarter for Euroa at the moment.
Well, I'll tell you what, they're lucky they got him, because otherwise they'd be well and truly behind. But I reckon Rochester have got this game under control, even though I reckon they've got 16 fit men. Euroa just are not running the ball at all. There's the ball, handed off there to Gavin Williams. He kicks it up to the opposite wing and going in his corners, but he's been completely outpointed there by Dupay, is it, or Keogh?
No,
Can't quite
Dupay,
see.
yeah.
Then they go in very strongly in a very heavy bump there on Portamose. I tell you what, if anybody, was that Gravina? No, it's Portamose. Anyone ever doubts his courage anywhere around the place, I tell you what, don't talk to me, because he has absolutely slaughtered them. There's the kick up there, up to the ground. It's coming up the centre. Veering sits himself. The ball spills free at centre forward. Going in strongly is Euroa with the numbers. Picking it up and hand passing it out here. Back to Veering cleaves it off the thing, but only as far as Hooper. Hooper hands it off here to Martin. Martin kicks it in the forward line and sitting all by himself. Dreadful marking from, I don't know what they're doing. I think they've dropped the button. There is number 19 in Mr. Palmer. And he must have thought it was Christmas, because he was just sitting there in the goal square, no one in 40 metres, and they banged the ball, rebounded it, and he'll have a shot directly in front. In he comes and he puts it on its way, and he's put it right through the middle. So on the Freer Panelwork scoreboard, they're just bolting away with this football match at the moment. Rochester, 14 goals, 5, 89 to Euroa, 10 goals, 9, 69. And I tell you what, Fitzy will have to be the biggest comeback since Lazarus if Euroa to get up in this final quarter and win by 17 points.
No, at the moment they don't even look as if they're going to get up.
No, and they'll need to get a couple of goals in this last 3 or 4 minutes of the quarter, and it's back in the centre with Con, and he's given Brody the chance, and he shows a lot of courage and forces the ball forward, and it's made good ground for Euroa, and it's now going to be another bounce up by umpire Pell.
Mr. Vanderveer copped one for his corner there too. I mean, he didn't take a backward step, but the Euroa bloke didn't either. He ran right through him, but there you go.
Okay, so it's back with Con, and he's having a good contest with Chug. At the moment, it's Chug who got the ball out to Palmer, who's going to run through the centre area, and he kicks long down to full forward, but cutting in there for Euroa was Chris Burke, and he set it out wide to Williams. He gives a hand pass out to Southwell, and he eludes one player and has John Veering running past, so he feeds it off to him, and he goes long down to the half-forward line looking for Mills, but Kick's able to punch the ball away, and Gravina comes in and tidies up nicely, and then it was number 44 there for Euroa and for Rochester, Terry Carlin, who was able to clear. But further downfield, it's Hooper who's going to receive the free kick.
Very undisciplined play there for the Southwell.
Yes, he's made 2 bad mistakes this quarter, and it gave Hooper the opportunity then. He kicked the ball down forward, and it's Adam Edwards who uses his strength and takes a nice mark in the forward pocket. He's about 30 metres out on a fairly difficult angle, but the distance shouldn't be any problem for him. And at the 24-minute mark here on the Freers panel work scoreboard, it's Rochester leading by 20 points, and that could very well be 26 points in just a moment, because Edwards is running in and it looks good off the boot, and with the cheers coming from the crowd, there's no doubt about it. He's put him 26 points in front.
Good why they haven't changed Douglas off Edwards, because it's been unbelievable.
Very difficult, Nick, though. I'd make stick-ups in there a little bit, the way the ball's come down there on a couple of occasions.
7 goals this year, hasn't he?
He's had 8 kicks, 7 marks and kicked 7 straight.
That's right, and I mean, he hasn't been under pressure once. That was a good mark. I thought it was the only time anyone's even challenged him, but he has absolutely slaughtered it. And he did it last week, and he's done it again this week. Yeah. A good move on the brain touch from Rochester. But we're waiting for the bounce from umpire Pell. There it is. Down it goes. Beautiful bounce. Up they go. Con gets the tap down. In they come. Robbie Miller picks it up. Kicks the ball long up to the ground. They sit underneath it. The Rochester people go in very strongly. Morrison picks it up. Kicks it out wide to the halfback. Looking for Cornish, and he doesn't let him down. He's played a good game. He's a good player, but he's got no options upfield. You've just got to kick it long, and he does that. Right up to the centre wing. They go up high, but the ball's fisted away out over the boundary line, right in front of the scoreboard here. That's the Freer Panelwork scoreboard. So we'll have yet another throw in. So we've just entered time on, and they're well in control, Rochester, 95 to 69. So at the moment they're staring down the barrel of a premiership. There's the tap in. Going in strongly was Euroa. I couldn't pick it up, and the ball's been kicked down the ground. And excuse me, doesn't matter. I must match than you are, George, but the Euroa bloke who kicked the ball got unloaded, but it's a free kick right on the wing, just slightly back to half back to Martin Kick, I think it is, or Hooper. He kicks it to Miller, and Miller is playing a very good game on the wing now. He's starting to exert his influence on this game. There's the kick and taking a great grab there with Anthony McPhee. I tell you what, he doesn't look like he can get up there, but he did. And I tell you the other thing about him, he doesn't miss too often, George.
No, he's proving a real handful for them at the moment. And as you say, he doesn't look like much of a footballer. Has the jumper out and the socks down, but by gee, he's got a good pair of hands.
He's put on a bit of pud since I last saw him, but I tell you what, he can kick and he doesn't miss too often. In he comes, right kick from 45 metres, puts the ball on his way. It holds up into the breeze, sitting underneath it and taking a strong mark there was Douglas. Good effort. He must nominate which way he's going to kick. He doesn't quite know yet. He decides to kick straight up the centre, and he finds his teammate in number 29 in Gary Conn. Conn hands the ball off. Gives it straight back here to
Chris Burke. He's going to run it through the half-back line.
He looks for some options. Kicks it straight up the centre half forward, and sitting underneath it is Tate. He didn't control a mark, but control the ball. Gives it back to Conn. Kicks the ball up the full forward, and then we've got one out again here to O'Brien. He gets the ball on the ground. He leads in the race. Doesn't go in after it though. Didn't look for the bump instead of the ball, and the ball's steered away nicely by Holman. He gets it. Beautiful little pass up here. Finds McPhee again, roaming wide and free. Pumps it into Old at centre half forward. He just chips it across here to Dupay, is it?
Yep.
Yeah, he waits for it to bounce, runs to the 50-metre line, squares the ball. Nice intercept, Dave. Harvey gives it across to Veering. Veering gives it back there, and they clear the ball from Conn. Conn drills Coach, but he didn't run on. He should have kept going. He's got the ball just right on the wing, kicks it up, or pumps it up, I should say, to centre forward. That's got to be a free kick to the Euroa player. Oh, umpire.
Yeah, that was a bit tough.
That was dreadful.
That was a bit tough.
They jumped all over him, but the umpire said, throw it in. Dreadful. That's right. Get out of his way. Umpire the game and get on with it.
I think Dean Lupson is just asking umpire Freer why he didn't award a free kick then to Mills, and I think he had every right to ask that question because Mills was pretty unfairly dealt with. But anyway, it's Mills and Chugg now going to contest the throw-in, and it's Chugg that comes over the back, and he gets it down to Miller, who's had a ton of kicks this quarter, and one of the reasons why Rochester are on top at the moment. But his kick has been marked by Peter Taylor, and he swings around on the left foot and kicks into centre half forward to no one in particular, and there's a pack of players, and it's fisted down. It gives Daly the opportunity with Keogh, and out of that clash, Keogh is going to be awarded a free kick for a high tackle.
I don't want to be nasty, but they've had a fair run, Rochester.
Yes, they have picked up a couple of those doubtful free kicks.
But they might have been in first, so you can't knock it.
So it's Keogh that's gone long down to centre half forward looking for McPhee at the front of the pack, but it was punched away this time by Veering, and Sora tidies up nicely, but he's well tackled and can't take the ball with him. And it's now given Rochester the chance to get the ball, and that was Putamorsi who really put himself in then and copped another heavy knock, and he's limping yet again. But as you said, Mick, time and time again, this man's courage personified.
Is he ever? He's taken more belts than you can ever see, but he's kept getting up and he keeps putting himself in, and I tell you what, he's not well, but he's still there and they're still in front. There's the bounce. Right on the 50-metre line, comes down to Southwell. He tries to burst his way clear. Hand passes the ball clear, but the umpire says play on it. Comes back here to Gravina. His kick smothered. It falls free to Morrison. He's grabbed without the ball, and the umpire said at last. And that's 50 metres. Luckily, Hooper.
I'll tell you what, Mick, you'll get a job as an umpire because you picked that well, and rightly so. It was a free kick, and then what happened afterwards was definitely a 50 metres, and often they don't pay those.
I'd played a lot of games and I umpired most of them, but they wouldn't listen to me, George. There they go. There's the kick up to O'Brien, but he's been well held by things. He gives it over across to Brody. He hand passes it to Tate.
Really
Tate tries to play, but he's good enough to kick a beautiful goal there, David Tate. He did very well because he was given the hospital hand pass, and the hand pass came over, but he was clever enough to turn adversity into advantage, and he banged it through to 11 goals 9, 60, 75 I should say, to 15 goals 5. So they've had 20 shots each, but it's still Rochester by
20 points.
20 points, and that's on the Freer Panel Works scoreboard. We've played 30 minutes, Fitzy.
I'm just wondering whether Dean Lupston's inviting Greg Fair to a ball or something like that, the way he's cutting all the time.
There's the ball, comes straight out of the centre. It's kicked long down the ground. Peter Taylor bangs it there, picking it up and having another shot there.
Oh,
and
my
a magnificent goal.
What a goal. That's his second goal.
Oh, unbelievable. Picked the ball up right on the boundary line, and that could be the spur they need. And all of a sudden, Euroa have come to life when they've had their heads down for the last 10 minutes. But this time on, they've kicked 2 goals in 2 minutes. And David Tate picked the ball up on the boundary line and had a miraculous snap.
And there's 1 minute of play left in this third quarter, Mick.
How do you know that?
Because we've got the timekeepers right beside us.
That's right. We've got some advantages here, but there you go. So on the rear panel work scoreboard, they move a bit closer. Only 14 points fit down. 12-9, 81 to Rochester, 15-5, 95. And I tell you what, that could set the scene for an absolutely unbelievable last quarter. As there's the bounce in the centre. We've got Rourke in the ruck. It comes down. Lupton overruns the ball. Picking it up is Palmer.
Oh.
Down they go, right in front of the umpire, and they said play on as Van der Veer squared up. The ball comes down into Southwell. Didn't go after the footy, but he does pick it up this time. Hand pass out to Veering, and he's played a magnificent game. The ball comes down to Brody. He's looking for some options upfield. Kicks it up, and Lupton takes the top mark. You want to move it. He does. He hand passes it out in the middle.
To Daly.
Ran into nobody. Oh, excuse me. The umpire's forgotten about the book. It falls to Lupton. Lupton runs into the open goal, puts it on the left foot, and he's put it right through the middle. So we've got an absolute sensation, and all the hands have got on the head from the Rochester players. They were cruising 5 minutes ago, and all of a sudden the old Euroa boys have said, we're not out of this yet, and they've put themselves right back into the caper with 3 goals in the last 3 minutes of time on, and we've played 34 minutes, I think, in this quarter. And on the free panel work scoreboard, they've moved to 13 goals, 9, 87 to Rochester, 15 goals, 5, 95.
And I'll bet you there's 2 seconds to go, Mick, in this quarter.
That's Dean Lupson's third goal.
So there you go, and we have got an absolute unbelievable last quarter lined up here at Deakin Reserve, because on the scoreboard, Euroa, 13 goals, 9, 87 have come out of the clouds to challenge Rochester, who looked to have it all parcelled up 5 minutes ago. 15 goals, 5, 95. 8 points the difference at three-quarter time on the Freer Panel Work scoreboard, and you couldn't get a better game in front of a fantastic crowd here today. And we're having a little
bit of an altercation between a Euroa player and a trainer.
Might find himself fixed right up. Mr. Lupton said, get away, otherwise there'll be some trouble. But he's been in the thick of things, and he's the one who's put him back in the game. But I think that quarter belongs to Mr. Veering. Fitchy, give us goal kickers and best kick getters.
Well, for the quarter, Euroa kicked 6-1, the Rochester 5-1. That was for the quarter. Goal kickers for Rochester, Adam Edwards 7, Anthony McPhee 3, Darren Hooper 3, David Putamosi and Stuart Palmer 1 each. For Euroa, Dean Lupston, Paul O'Brien, David Tate have all kicked 3 each. Chris Daly 2, Rodney Mills 1, Gary Conn 1. The better kick getters for Euroa, Gary Harvey, David Tate, Rodney Mills all on 13, Mark Brody on 15, Gary Conn on 13. For Rochester, you've got Van der Veer, Hooper, Miller, kick all on 10, Anthony McPhee 11 kicks, 7 marks, and Mick 12 kicks and 4 marks, but Adam Edwards, he's had 8 kicks, 7 marks and kicked 7 straight.
Been very, very even, the Rochester side, but I tell you what, Kevin Storer yesterday on our footy show said the thing that he thought would win the premiership would be their freshness, the fact that they hadn't played, and I can tell you what, they are the walking wounded Rochester, and you cannot dud one of them, because every guy out there who's sick and sorry puts his body in and hasn't missed a beat, whereas some of the Euroa players, we can't say the same thing about it because of the fact that they looked down and out at that stage, George, but they've come back out of the ground, haven't they, Euroa, to put themselves back in with a big chance here in the last quarter.
And there were a couple of
Supporting the Euroa Football Club, the Seven Creeks Hotel are proud to sponsor this football broadcast. Open 7 days a week, they offer a full counter meal service. The Seven Creeks Hotel are situated on the Hume Highway, Euroa. Phone 0595 3034.
Just repeating those AFL scores from Melbourne. Springvale 15-15 105, leading Williamstown 15-11 101. So it's now time to go back to that exciting last quarter, in fact the last quarter of our 1990 football season from the Goulburn Valley Football League. It's over to Mick Mulligan at Deakin Reserve.
Right, thanks John. And from the bounce we've had a quick passage of play where the ball's gone up and down the ground, and we've got Hooper marking the ball directly in front, about 45 metres out, and this is a vital kick for Rochester. In he comes, he runs in, puts the ball on its way, and he's put it right through the middle. Don't worry about that, as the umpire says. No, the umpire hasn't said anything. The ball's been punched, every player stopped on the ground, and the ball's gone out. If that wasn't over the boundary, over the goal line, I'll go eat. But we've got to throw in right beside the goal line for Rochester. It comes down. Douglas feeds it off. It comes out there. Quick kick there from number 14, Chris Stewart. Clears it out, but going in strongly there for Rochester, but and feeding it over the line was Palmer. So we'll have a throw in 50 metres out, right on the 50-metre line for Rochester.
That was a real line ball decision, wasn't it?
Oh, well, everybody else stopped, apart from the umpires included. There's the tap down from Con. They go in. Morrison went in very strongly, but Puda Morsey gets the ball, squares it across the ground, and McPhee's marked the ball 45 metres out. He doesn't look too fit, but I tell you what, I'll back him in to kick a goal.
The way he pulled up then, Mick, I'd say he's got a bit of a hamstring.
Yeah, or an ankle, but he's marked the ball 35 metres out directly in front. They are the walking wounded, Rochester, but who cares? They said this is it, and he comes. Puts the ball on its way, and don't worry about that. The umpire says, bad luck, you've kicked a point, unfortunately. So on the Seven Creeks Hotel Euroa scoreboard, they moved to 15 goals, 696 to Euroa, 13 goals, 987. And they're waiting for the ball to be put back in. Here's the kick.
Williamstown have won the AFL Grand Final, 16-11 107 to Springvale 15-15 105.
Thank you, John. That's the best news I've heard in 5 minutes, but there you go. Deering kicks the ball up, sitting underneath it, Lupton, and kicks it. Just contenter. Watch it go across the road. You can't beat those mighty seagulls, Johnny, because they're a class act. There's the throw in now. I'm only talking through my pocket, I might add, right about 65, 70 metres around from the Euroa goal. Con goes up, the ball comes down to Gravina. He picks it up, runs on the left foot, kicks it, Torres sits under it, magnificent mark. Showed no fear whatsoever, the young player, number 16 for Euroa. Kicks it up to centre half forward. They set themselves, up they go, the ball still free. Brady pounces on it, he's got them outnumbered, gives it across to Tate. Tate pushes it clear. Lupton goes in very strongly, but the ball's flipped out here. But to Keogh, and he's been a great player. Going in old, looks very tired. He tries to burst clear. Oh, umpire! A very interesting one. Did grab him round the shoulder, so we'll say fair enough. But he won the ball, so you can't knock that. He's very tired. Kicks it out here towards Robbie Miller. He's going half pace. He wins the ball nicely, hands it off to Dupay. Dupay runs on the left foot, kicks it up here to Porter Mosey, goes up one hand, still beats him, hands him off to McPhee. McPhee, hand passes off to Dupay, coming through strongly there is Deering. Gives the ball off very nicely, looks upfield, kicks it long, sitting underneath it, Mills. Oh, he's got the footy.
He's got the good bounce too, Nick.
Yeah, did well, kicks it long up there, but once again, O'Brien playing from behind, terrible play. Should have led. The ball's cleared out of there by Flanagan, I think it was. Flanagan kicks for touch, but it's come out here to all Euroa. Euroa pump it back in, sitting underneath it is Lupton. Looks for things, but Holman takes a strong mark, and I tell you what, their forward line's been pretty ordinary.
And he's gone directly across goal,
and he's kicked it out of bounds. Oh, the panic stations have been lit here because the nerves must be enormous out there at the moment. So
That was a shocking mistake.
yeah, but the goals are this way, not 90 degrees.
Gives Euroa the chance now. It's still in their forward line, and it's Daly who knocks the ball out from that throw in, but to no one in particular, and there's a pack of players have developed, and the umpire is going to throw the ball up again. And I see Van der Veer's out there shouting instructions to a number of players, but they need to get in and win the footy at the moment. And it's in the forward pocket, just 10 or 12 metres around from the Euroa goal. And we're waiting on Mills and Martin, and it's Martin who gets the ball, but it only goes as far as Tate, and he's dangerous around the goal. And he's done it again, the little fella. It's a beautiful goal over the
Two
goal.
miraculous goals.
That's good football, Nick.
He's kicked their last three, used his brain, stayed in, and he knew what he's about then, David Tate. He lined it up and he banged it right through the middle from the boundary line. He just had a big look and beautifully shepherded there by O'Brien. I must give him that. Or Mills, I don't know who it was, but it was a Euroa player. So on the Seven Creeks Euroa Hotel scoreboard, they moved to 14 goals, 9, 93, only 3 points behind Rochester.
And it's on for young and old now. There's no quarters asked or given, and it's Van der Veer who comes out of the centre and kicks on his left foot out wide to Ald. He makes a lot of ground and marks on his chest, and he goes in short this time. But I think it's, yes, it's dropped short. It gave Keogh very little opportunity then, but he was infringed upon by Burke and pushed him in the back. And Keogh decides to play on quickly, and he goes nowhere at this stage. The umpire is telling him he's got to go back and kick over his mark. So that's going to hold things up for a moment, but it'll give Euroa the opportunity to man up.
Porter Morsey all by himself in the centre. Look, two players standing there watching.
Yep, you're right, Nick, but the ball's still with Keogh, and he's been pulled back again by the umpire, so this time he's going to kick over the mark, and he decides to go long down towards full forward. It was Rourke who came over the back of the pack and couldn't mark, but it gives Harvey the opportunity to clear, and he does with a hand pass to Chris Burke, I think it was, and he kicks out wide looking for Cornish, and he does well, but it's Brody who's going to tidy up with a hand pass to Cornish, and he runs and avoids one player and a second player. If he doesn't bounce it, he'll be in trouble, but he gets his boot to ball and kicks out wide looking for Lupton. But he's out-pointed by Carman that time, and he's given it across to Palmer, and he runs through the centre of the ground and kicks long, but there's Kevin Storer playing loose in defence, and he's in the centre of the ground now, and he's kicked it. Lovely mark to Harvey. And they're looking strong at the moment, Euroa. They're showing a lot of dash. They are a bit fresher at the moment, and that could be ominous for Rochi. And it's Dodger Mills, and he couldn't mark, but he tidies up nicely and hand passes over the top. But Martin Kick intercepts, but it's Brody who steals it off him and runs in, and on the run has kicked 1 point. And it's on the Seven Creeks Euroa Hotel scoreboard at the 9-minute mark here in the final quarter. It's Euroa 14-10-94. Trailing Rochester 15-6-90.
With a little bit of talking, he could have run into the open goal, George,
yes,
didn't he? But
desperate
stakes.
Even got my heart pumping, Nick.
That's right. There's the kick from Holman out to the half-back flank, looking for, I can't see who the player is out there. I'll have a look on the monitor. Darren Chugg, and he doesn't let him down. He takes a strong mark. He's looking a bit tired, but they're all tired out there. I tell you what, the next goal could decide this grand final. There's his kick up to the wing. They get under it. Veering punches it clear. Goes in strongly. The hand pass comes out, and it's all Euroa here. And this is what it's about. Good quick hand pass. Lupton's got it. Hand pass up to Storer. Storer runs on the left foot. He's kicked, smothered. Lupton picks it up. Hand passes back to Brody. Brody's got it. Hand passes to no one in particular. In goes Storer. I tell you what, they're messing around. Van der Veer, the battle of the coaches. Coming through strongly here. Poole, I think, has a long kick into the goal square, and that's got to be a free kick to the thing. But the ball still free to Tate. Tate has a quick kick on the left foot and put it through for 1 point. And I tell you what, it's all happening, and there'll be no free kicks in this last quarter. And I've got George Gilby on 10 hooks beside me here. So on the Seven Creeks Euroa Hotel scoreboard, they creep 1 point closer. 95 plays 96. Rochester. Holman kicks the ball up the centre of the ground. They all go up. It's still free. Old at the back, runs clear, has one bounce, runs to the wing, kicks it up there, looking, coming across was Euroa. He falls over his own player, Porter Mosey's leg, and I'll tell you what, that was a professional free kick, because otherwise he would have been off. But they've got it, and sitting by himself, Robbie Miller, unbelievable. Unbelievable. Hooper. Oh, the marking from Euroa was absolutely dreadful.
Chris Burke has allowed him to do that on several occasions today, Mick. And
I tell you what, I don't know what they're about, because he had plenty of ample time to get back, but he will come in and shoot from 15 metres out directly or a 45-degree angle. Puts the ball on its way, and I tell you what, he has missed. Could have sealed the game for him on the Seven Creeks Euroa Hotel scoreboard. And the pressure's on every player out there at the moment. The fatigue's coming in. 15-7-97 they lead to 14-11-95. There's the kick out. It's a big torpedo punt. Sitting underneath of his southwell. He misses a sitter. Coming through is Miller. He gets the ball, hand pass it to no one in particular. Getting it and being tackled very strongly is Brody tied it up, but I don't. Who was that player? Morris? Taylor didn't know what to do. No talking from Euroa out there.
They outnumbered them 3-1 there, Mick.
Yep.
The nerves are really starting to catch up.
And the throw-in's about 60 metres around from the Rochester goal.
And it's Con who has a lovely tap, but it's intercepted by Gravina, but he was knocked over by his own player, and it's given Darby Morrison the opportunity to run out of defence, and he goes in to the centre of the ground, but it's Carmen who does well for Rochester, and he gets the handball across to Vanderveer, and he goes out wide looking for the boundary line. He's almost found touching it, yes, and it's going to find its way ahead of Robbie Miller.
I tell you what, the pressure's on him too. He
bounds.
put the hands on the head, and he said, my God, what's going on here?
Euroa aren't learning though, Mick. They're not manning up on their back line. There are Rochester players everywhere. Okay, it's Con. He's done a fine job, and he gets it down again to James Cornish, but he was able to feed it off to Storer, and he does well, and he kicks it across the centre of the ground looking for Brody. But he's outnumbered, and it gives McPhee the opportunity. But his handball is intercepted by the little fella Harvey, and he's gone in, and it's now down to full forward, where O'Brien had the chance to mark, but blew it. And he's having a horror of a day, and he can't control the ball, and Rochester are going to clear it this time through Dupay. He goes long down to centre half forward, but it was Euroa trying to punch the ball away, but still Rochester, and it's come out wide now to Mick Alden. He's got the opportunity from the half-forward line, and he goes in long, but right on the death rock. It's Gavin Williams.
What a dreadful! It was laid on a plate. They had. The guy should have chipped it over to his. The other bloke was running free. I don't know who it was, and they would have run into an open goal, but it doesn't matter.
That was a bad miss, and on the Seven Creeks Hotel scoreboard, it's Rochester by 3 points here at the 14-minute mark at Deakin Reserve, and it's out on the wing, on the scoreboard wing at the moment, and it was Chug who kicked the ball forward, but it was intercepted by Con, and he hand passes it further wide to Taylor, and he goes out wide to Harvey, and it gives him the opportunity to run the ball down, and he has a slick hand pass across to Brody, and he runs down the half-forward line, and O'Brien has marked this time.
How many kicks is that, 50?
That's his first kick since half-time.
How many kicks has he had?
That's his 7th kick.
Well, he could be a hero if he bangs this through, because it'll put him in front.
At the 14-minute mark, and he's got the opportunity. He's about 35 metres out on a 15 and a 45-degree angle.
And it's very interesting to see every Rochester player's got their hands on the hips and their heads down. And
Martin Kick is just about to come off with an injury.
And
so Bruce come in, and
Darryl O'Neill is to go back on.
And O'Brien's done it. He's made it a 3-point advantage to Euroa at the 14-minute mark on the Seven Creeks Hotel here at Deakin Reserve. And for the first time since 5 minutes before half-time, Euroa are back in front. And we've got a real game on our hands.
And we've got Darryl O'Neill coming back on with a heavily strapped, and they've taken kick off, so there's been some changes going. We've got hold on the half-forward flank. I tell you what, as I said, the next goal will be vital, and Euroa kick it. So we're waiting for umpire Pell, puts the ball down in the centre. Up they go. Con goes up. He's dispossessed. The ball bounces free. Picking it up and hand passing it out towards the things. Leading in the race here is Dupay. He misses it though. Mills grabs it. He's dispossessed too. He taps the ball back. No one in particular. The ball bounces free. It bounces. Robbie Miller picks it up. He's been tackled, but dispossessed, hands it off to Vanderveer. Vanderveer runs to the half-forward flank, kicks it long, but out wide. Looking for it is McPhee. Oh, that's got to be a free kick. But no, the umpire says no free kicks in this last quarter, and it's lobbed right in front of the Spider Turner stand. And they're lucky that United aren't playing, because there'll be a few aspersions about the parenthood of a few of these players. But it's a throw-in right on the 50-metre line around from Rochester's goal, and it's 101 plays 98. There's the touch-in. Storer waits for it. He's been attacked. Ball's tapped out to Corny. They go in very strongly. No one can win possession. They go in very hard. Picking it up and just getting a little kick there is Euroa. Kick back and sitting underneath it here. And going in very strongly. We've got the coach of Vanderveer down. The ball's kicked up here. Marked very nicely by Palmer, and he's marked it right just forward of the centre. Looks for some leads, kicks it out wide. Coming across there is Edwards. He misses it. Getting the ball nicely there is Douglas. He kicks it, pumps it right back, and it's one out. No, he missed it hard. Tate getting the ball out here towards Tate's got it. Hand passes it back nicely. They've got open things. Kicks the ball. Who was that? George.
Sorry,
he
mate.
pumps it up there to Mills, and Mills is marked at 50 metres out, right on the boundary line. He's got one out. He kicks it long up into the square. Getting back is Holman. He just touches it on the ground and punches it through for a point. Ordinary kick there from Mills because one out is what they needed. Holman, but he did an excellent job. So they move along to 102 plays, 98 on the scoreboard. He kicks the ball out here to Portamosi. He hand passes it off to Dupay on the half back line. Kicks it out here to the wing. He's waited too long. Cornish goes up. The ball spills free. Storer picks it up all by himself. Runs through. And the umpire says free kick because Vanderveer had a bit of a chip. Cornish kicks it right into the centre of the ground to number 27, Taylor, but his kick was ordinary. He pumped it straight down the throat of Mr. Rourke.
And he's kicked long to the centre, looking for Chug, but it was Euroa who got first hands to the ball, but Putamorsi tied his up nicely, and he goes out wide to Palmer, who's been a good player at this stage. And Adam Edwards has come off the ground with what appears to be an elbow injury, and Martin Kick, who left the ground a few minutes ago with an injury, is forced to come back onto the ground, so that could be ominous for them. And it's Darby Morrison who's going to clear for Euroa, and he runs the ball around the wing area, but a very tight looking kick. Dodger Mills was in front, but punched the ball forward, gave Lupson the chance, but he was too slow, and Carmen tied it up nicely, and he kicked it out wide to Stuart Palmer, and he's taken a mark on the Euroa half forward line. He's out there looking for someone, so he just decides to kick long into centre half forward. It was all in front, but he had it punched away from him. Euroa trying to force the ball out of the fence, but it's Warren Martin who does well, and he runs the ball through the centre and kicks down to the half forward line, where Martin Kicks does well and punches the ball over to Putamorsi, and he then gets it back to Kick, and he backs up nicely, and he has one bounce. He's inside 50 now, running in towards goal, and he could beat the ball, and it's gone right through the middle. A fine effort, and that goal belonged to David Putamorsi. They move along at the 18-minute mark of this last quarter. That puts Rochester back in front, 16 goals, 8, 104. 2 points in front of Euroa, 15-12, 102. Could never happen, 50 should have.
No, it should never ever happen. Those two players were out there by themselves.
Okay, it's back in the centre, and it's Chug who gets the ball down to Vanderveer, and he tries to force his way through, but he can't get there, and it gives Brody the chance, and he knocks the ball forward to Lupson, and he does well. He tries to get the ball out, but he was dispossessed. But now it gives David Tate the chance, and he kicks him short to Harvey, and he's inside 50, but I think he'll be a bit far out for him. And Storer's got himself at full forward at the moment. He's waiting at the back of the pack, and he takes a beautiful mark.
Coach said kick it long and kick it quick.
That's the way you do
and
it,
he
son.
took the mark, beautiful mark, put his foot right in the middle of his opponent's back and took a great captain's coach mark right in the goal square. And I tell you what, they're pushing and shoving. That won't happen, and we've played about 19 minutes here at the Deakin Reserve, and he will put Euroa back in front from about 3 metres out, directly in front, and a beautiful captain coach mark. You like those ones, 50 though, when you got the fit, don't you?
Too right there.
But those hands were like, you could see it
He wasn't going to miss
like
it.
a vice. Like a vice.
So we're waiting for him to come in.
Kick of his career to date, I'd say.
And he's put it right through the middle.
Yes,
he has. So they've hit back. So once again, it's tit for tat here. We've got Euroa moving along to 16 goals, 12, 108. There's 4 points in front of Rochester, 16 goals, 8, 104. So 28 shots placed, 24, and we've just entered the 20-minute mark, 60.
It mustn't have sneaked in by much the way the goal umpire had to run across.
No, but he showed a bit of experience by putting his arms up, Kevin Storer, and he said, thank you very much. Contradict me if you're game. That's a bit of experience. George, well, where's it going to go?
I tell you what, Nick, if the player's heart's up and as hard as mine, it's anybody's game at the moment.
That might have something to do with the policeman fireman's ball, though. It might have to do with the football.
We've been treated to a fine exhibition of football. Both sides have done a wonderful job, and whichever way it goes now, I'm sure, well, it's not for us to say because it's just so tight at the moment, it could go either way. And,
Righto, we're waiting for the bounce in the centre. Umpire Powell puts it down, an excellent bounce. Up they go, there's it goes, but sitting underneath it is Taylor. Thumps it up the full forward. Up they go underneath. Holman punches it away. Nice mark, Mills. He didn't look at all there because he had two players in Lupton all by himself in the goal square, and he's trying to win it off their own boot, and that doesn't win because doesn't help because he's kicked it out on the full, and the resulting free kick will go to Flanagan. So Flanagan's got the footy right beside the behind post for Euroa, and we've played 20 minutes in this last quarter. So we're waiting for the ball to be put back into play. There's the kick. It's thumped up there. They're sitting up. Mills sits underneath it. So does Martin. Martin pushed off the ball. Picking it up is Tate. Hand pass it to Storer. Storer gives it across here to Brody. He's got a paddock. Oh, excuse me, ridiculous. And in the goal square, the resultant free kick will go to Brody. O'Brien, I should say. That was dreadful performance there. I don't know who the offending player was. Nigel van der Veer is absolutely disgusted. He's been reported, Nick. Number 40, who was it? 46? Jeremy Rourke just had a rush of blood, and he's given away the most vital free kick, I would say, in his life, because this will put Euroa 10 points in front as he comes in, O'Brien, right from the goal square and puts it right in the middle of next week, right through the middle. And at the 22-minute mark, they've moved along to 17 goals, 12, 114, 10 points in front of Rochester, 16 goals, 8, 104, and that's on the Seven Creeks Hotel Euroa scoreboard. And I bet they're jumping over there in the Euroa Seven Creeks Hotel at this stage if they're not at the footy. The beer will be cold now.
Fitzy, while we're waiting for the ball to come back, talking about those people over there at Euroa, a Euroa stalwart, Bluey Jago, told me that his father, Les, Bluey Senior, is just recovering from open heart surgery a couple of days ago, and he wasn't allowed to come to the footy today because it could have got a bit exciting, but he's out there listening to us on 3-1 FM.
Good on you, Bluey. Leslie, good on you, mate. So your side's well in front, so this will do your heart the world of good because they've moved to a 10-point lead, and there's about 8 or 9 minutes to go, I would say, as the ball comes back from the full-back position. I don't know, I think that nearly went to Marutner. He kicked it that far, so here we go.
We might pick it up in Cryo Street.
Ask the timekeepers how long we've got to go in this game.
8 minutes.
7 minutes,
well,
they said, yes, 7 minutes to play. So they're 10 points in front, Euroa, at this stage, and we're waiting for umpire Freer. Puts the ball down, beautiful bounce. Up they go, there's the tap out, comes down to Brody, he kicks it up to full forward, and Flanagan takes a tremendous mark under pressure over his opposite number in David Tate. He's looking for options, but there's not too many. Decides to go out wide, kicks it wide to the wing, up they go, punching it away and taking a strong mark. Oh, umpire, 100 yards away. But doesn't matter, the man in front. There's the kick. Who was that? Palmer. He's played a great game. Up they go. Veering punches it down. Miller picks it up, pumps it up towards full forward. Sitting underneath it, Cooper. Backing back is Corey. They all overrun it. The ball spills free. Who's got the ball? It's thumped out of bounds, and the umpire says throw it in.
Okay, and they're looking pretty tight out there at the moment, Nick, as we are too. But they've got a lot of hard work to go yet. They've still got about 6 minutes of play remaining, and the game's there to be won. And at the moment it's going to be Con and Chug, and Con does well again, gets first hand to ball, but it was well intercepted by Robbie Miller this time, and he gets the hand pass across to Keogh, but his kick was smothered and finally made its way to their coach in Van der Veer. He kicked into the goal square area, but it's Douglas who's got the ball. He gets boot the ball, clears it about 2 or 3 metres, gives Storer the chance, and he does well, but he's tackled hard. And it's Darby Morrison trying to force his way through the pack, but Martin Kick does well. Eludes one player, swings back around onto his right foot and kicks in, but just waiting there was Chris Burke, and he takes a nice
They've given away 2 desperate free kicks here, Euroa, and that's cost them 50 metres.
50 metres, yeah, it was
and
uncalled for.
He should take a week.
Uncalled for.
They should have someone out here on the wing to chip it to, and that would be the end of the ball game, I would feel. So
it's, yes, and Chris Burke's going to go wide, and it's a lovely kick down there looking for Daly, but he's got Dupay, and he outpoints him there, and takes a nice mark. And what's he going to do? He's just going to kick it long across the centre area, looking for someone, but no one in particular. They all go up. The ball's hit the ground, and it was Brodie there to Euroa. There are several players in there fighting hard for the ball at the moment, but it's the little fella, Harvey, that burst out with the ball, and he kicks out wide towards the wing. But it's Nick Alls against James Cornish. And
did a fantastic job, the young bloke, and he was beaten points. He was 2-1, and he dived on it beautifully. So that the clock ticks down. The boys are still there. Keep going, George. This has got everything, this footy match.
It certainly has, and we're just going to wait on the umpire. Umpire Pal, he puts the ball down, and it's Chug and Con. Neither player gets a decisive bounce, and the ball spills free, but it gives Daly the chance, and he runs around the wing area and kicks down to the half-forward line for Euroa, and it's Dodger Mills takes a nice mark. He plays on quickly, kicks to the point of the square, where it's O'Brien, and he takes a lovely mark running back.
Yeah, he had the perfect fit, didn't he? They've moved it down twice beautifully, Euroa, and I tell you what, on the left foot it's not favouring him, and he's marked the ball about 7 metres out directly in front, and Fitzy said by 17 points, and if he kicks this they'll go to 16 points in front, won't they, Fitzy? And he comes right on the boundary line, puts it on the way, and the umpire says, shut the gate. I think it's Euroa's premiership as they move to 18 goals, 12, 120. 16 points in front of Rochester, 16 goals, 8, 104, and we've got about 4 or 5 minutes to play as they've moved very on. That's on the Seven Creeks Hotel Euroa, and I bet you the beer will be on the house there tonight over in Euroa, because they're getting ready to hoist up the premiership flag for them, and they're doing it on the bit now, and as Kevin Storer said yesterday on our footy show, the freshness will tell. So we're waiting for the bounce in the centre. There it goes. Very ordinary. Up they go. Con goes up. 4-3. Harvey goes in. Comes down to Gravina. He's just thrown completely off the ball. So is the other thing. Comes back down here too. Taylor is it again. He pumps it up to centre half forward, but sitting underneath it and taking a mark is Flanagan. He kicks it out here looking for Palmer. He hasn't let him down all day. But they're running up and down in the spot. Rochester, they can see the writing on the ball. The ball's kicked out here too. Miller, and he's caught. No, the umpire says play on. Has 2 bounces. Hand passes it off to Palmer again. Another hand pass off here to Hooper. Hooper gives it back here to Flanagan. He's come right out of the back pocket. They kick it up the full forward. It comes down. Going in strongly is Morrison. He's done a magnificent job. Kicks it into the bloke on the mark, and he'll be happy to see it go out, but he runs across the goal, kicks it out wide, and Cornish sits up and takes a sensational mark.
Off he goes.
And he will have 15 bounces if he's smart. And he's had 4, and he runs to the half-back flank and kicks it straight up the ground. A beautiful kick. Setting up his Storer. He overruns it. It falls free here to Tate. Tate taps it off nicely to Mills. Mills has a kick for touch. A very ordinary effort from him, but it doesn't matter. It's up their end, and everybody's running up and down on the spot. And I can see Nigel Vanderveer's heads down. And how many minutes we got to play, gentlemen? We've got 2 minutes to play, and Euroa have got the 1990 grand final parcelled up. Holman runs on his right foot trying to do something. Kicks it wide to the boundary line. Storer goes up and takes a magnificent mark over the top on the half-forward flank for them, and that would be it. He's done the knee, and he will lie down there. He's got the cramp. He just wants to get up and take his time and give the ball to somebody else, because with about 90 seconds to play, I would say it's Euroa's 1990 grand final. And I tell you what, there's the kick from him, and Lupton's marked the ball about 70 metres out, from 60 metres out. He chips the ball in here and finds Tate's marked the ball, and they're just using up the time. And on the scoreboard it's Euroa, 18 goals, 12, 120 to Rochester, 16 goals, 8, 104, and that's on the Seven Creeks Hotel Euroa, and he's taking as much time as he can, David Tate. He just chips it across here to Brodie, and Brodie's marked the ball. They're just toying with him at the moment. And I bet he chips it back to him too, because there's nobody within it, and he certainly does.
You're right, Nick.
Yeah. Silly though. It took half an hour to see that, but it doesn't matter. He tried to chip it back, and it's out of bounds, and I would say we'd have a minute to play on and it's about 45 metres around from the Euroa goals, and we're waiting for the throw, and it's 120 plays, 104, so Euroa have won the premiership. There's Con, taps it in. The ball comes down, goes back to Harvey. He has a quick kick up to centre half forward. They set themselves. The ball spills free. Picking it up nicely is Taylor. He's been well and truly tackled. gives it off there to Bush. Bush kicks it to full forward. O'Bree's out pointed, but it's all Euroa. He runs in, has a quick snap, and he's kicked a point. And Fitzy, I think you're spot on. They're going to win by 17 points.
We will never live this down.
Unbelievable on the Seven Creeks Hotel Euroa scoreboard. They moved to 18 goals, 13, 121 to 16 goals, 8, 104. There's the kick back into play, and sitting underneath it is the captain coach of Euroa, and he's going to grab that ball to himself and say, thank you very much, fellas. You can wait for 5 minutes while I kick this, and I'll guarantee a nice big torpedo punt. He will take a minute to kick this. No, he skipped it, and that was a tied kick.
Oh,
you should know better than that.
He's got cramp bad.
Doesn't matter, they know they've got it. He said, give it back to me. Boys, we'll just kick it out wide here and play keepings off, and that's exactly what they're doing. And Tate will nearly have the last kick of the 1990 grand final as the timekeepers have got their finger on the button, and we're waiting for them to kick the ball, and that's it. There's the grand final, and it comes down to Euroa has won the grand final, 18-13, 121. The 16 goals, 8, 104, and Fitzy's holding the record up, saying I'm the greatest tipster in Australia. But there's, I'd say, 3,000 Rochester fans, Euroa fans out there are absolutely ecstatic. And the top team who finished on top and looked like they had it all parcelled up, unfortunately have succumbed yet again. A bit of disappointment, a bitter pill to swallow. The walking wounded, but you can't take anything away from Euroa. They came from 23 points behind to get up and snatch victory, not snatch it, win by 17 points in that last quarter. Righto, fill us in, Fitzy, on goal kickers and better kick getters.
Goal kickers for Euroa, Paul O'Bree 6, David Tate 4, Dean Lupton 4, Kevin Storer, Rodney Mills, Chris Daly and Gary Conn 1 each. Goal kickers for Rochester, 7 to Adam Edwards, 3 to Anthony McCree, 3 to Darren Hooper, 1 to David Portamosey, Martin kicked, Stuart Palmer. Best kick getters, Kevin Storer 18 kicks, Gary Harvey 18 kicks, David Tate 18 kicks, Rodney Mills 18, Mark Brody 21 kicks, Peter Taylor got 14 kicks, and Gary Conn, I know he's a favourite of Mitch and George, 13 kicks and 7 marks. For Rochester you had Nigel Vandermeer 14 kicks, David Footamosey 13 kicks and 6 marks, which is a tremendous effort. Stuart Palmer 14 kicks and 7 marks. Then you've got Dupay on the back line, 14 kicks and 3 marks. And Michael, ever reliable Michael, 16 kicks and 6 marks. Righto, and well, as Kevin Storer said on our footy show yesterday, he said freshness would win the game for him, and that's certainly what happened, because in that last quarter they were the walking wounded, Euroa, and they gave their all. Rochester, and you can't knock them for their efforts, because if you ever want to see someone who's got fantastic courage, David Portamosey, and he wasn't the only one, but he just battled his insides out, and he was definitely wounded. David Flanagan walking off the ground there, he's looking very, very battle scarred, but he gave his all as well. And you can't knock the Rochester Footy Club because of the fact that those hard games took their toll, but they looked like they had it parcelled up. But a couple of undisciplined acts, I suppose, or ill-disciplined, depending on what you want to say, cost them dearly there. And Kevin Storer being claimed there, he's head and shoulders above the supporters, and there's quite a big supporter mass around them. And good luck to Euroa, because they've finished on top, and you can't take that away from them. And they played like a top side today. George, why did Euroa win?
I think they won because they were the fitter side when it came to the crunch in that last quarter, Mick, and we made comment that it could well have been a last man standing affair, and that's exactly as it turned out. Euroa finished full of running. Rochester had a number of players that suffered from injuries. They lost Adam Edwards halfway through that last quarter, but that wasn't the reason that they lost the game. They lost the game because Euroa were just too strong in the end, and they had a lot of good players. Their smaller players, Harvey and Tate, were just about unstoppable today. And
those goals Tate kicked in those the first two or the last two in the quarter, and the first one in the last quarter, they were really inspiring.
Yeah, real inspirational stuff. And Dean Lupson, I know we were critical of him early in the game for an incident that occurred, but he put that behind him, and he did some really inspirational stuff on a couple of times, and he gave them another avenue for goal. Rod Mills at centre half forward, he was a real focal point for them. Paul O'Brien was well held by Russell Holman, but a player of such class, you can't keep them down all day, and he chipped in with a couple of goals late in that quarter when they were really needed, and it was just what the doctor ordered as far as Euroa was concerned. Kevin Storer took a real captain's mark right in the goal square and kicked a goal, and they didn't look back from that. But I was really impressed with number 29 for Euroa, Gary Conn. I keep harping back to him, but when you look at the hard work that he does in the packs and getting the ball out to the players, the likes of Harvey and Tate, it makes it a lot easier for those smaller players when you've got a big man like that on top.
It certainly does, and that's not knocking the Rochester footy side, because they had some excellent players, and one player really took my eye today, Stuart Palmer. I thought he played
one of the truly great grand finals. Congratulations to Rochester on their magnificent performance. Thank you, Euroa. Kevin Storer, bring the boys over to receive the Premiership Cup. We want Kevin, Leo Cubill, the president of the club, all the players. Thanks, Euroa. Kevin. Boxer Brody embraces the chairman of selectors, embraces their coach, Kevin Storer. There's Ray Lamaro congratulating him. Up onto the grandstand.
Make sure they go that way. Make sure they go that way. Never thought I'd have to fly one of these things for big and black and white, would it? You love everything. Well, give me each.
And Leo Cubill, the president. All the players. Up on the stage. Kevin Storer. Okay, Kev. There's Paul O'Brien coming up on the shoulders of the club president. Ladies and gentlemen, we'd ask the Euroa boys to come forward. The President Leo and the coach. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what it's all about. We'd ask Bill Brown to raise the Premiership flag, won by the Euroa Football Club. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the presentation of the Premiership Cup to the President and the coach by Barry Conley. Thanks, Barry.
Certainly, ladies and gentlemen, you've witnessed one of the best grand finals in the history of the Goulburn Valley League. The crowd itself's the record, and indeed this is what it's all about. It's been a wonderful day for football and a big crowd, and certainly I say to Euroa, congratulations to you on winning the cup. All commiserations to the great Rochester side that put up a brave battle. All commiserations. To the president and the coach, congratulations on winning this great trophy.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear from one of the great players of Goulburn Valley football, Kevin Storer.
Thanks very much. Firstly, congratulations to my players. What a supreme effort in a great game of football today. We've been deprived of a premiership for a long time, and we've worked hard, and I really believe that we earned and we deserve this Premiership Cup today. Congratulations, fellas. To the loyal supporters of Euroa who were stuck with us through the lean years, it's great that we can win a cup just to show the appreciation of what you've done by sticking by us. Congratulations, top effort. Unfortunately, there had to be a losing side. Commiserations to Rochester. They put up a top effort. There had to be a losing side on the day. Unfortunately, it had to be them. But I guess there can only be one winner, and that was us. Well done, fellas.
Let's hear now from the president of the Euroa Football Club, the fellow that steered the club to this premiership today, Leo Kubel. Thanks, Leo.
To the supporters of Euroa, can you all hear me? To the supporters of Euroa and all those people in Euroa who stood behind this football club for 19 years, this cup is yours. Use it with pride. For all those other people, the chap standing beside me, Kevin Storer, would be one of the most magnificent coaches that has ever graced the Goulburn Valley Football League, and he should be recognised as such, and he will be tonight by the Euroa Football Club. Thank you everybody involved, and a particular thank you to the management of the Goulburn Valley Football League, Keith Wellman and his cronies who have got today, put this day on for everybody here. Thank you very much. I'm a very proud man.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, each player in today's winning grand final team receives a medallion as a momentum of their great win. We start off with none better than number 1, Kevin Storer. Number 4, Dean Lupson. Number 5, John Veering. Number 6, David Southwell.
Yeah, put your head down, Brett.
Number 7, with 6 goals, Paul O'Brien. Number 11, Gary Harvey. Number 12, with 4 goals, David Tate. Number 13 at fullback, Gavin Williams. Number 14, Chris Burke. Number 15, Rodney Dodger Mills. Number 16, James Cornish. Number 18, David Morrison. Number 19, Neil Poole. Number 22, Boxer Brody. Number 23, Chris Daly. Number 26, Ricky Brody. Number 27, Peter Taylor. Number 29, Gary Conn. Number 33, Michael Bush. And number 45, John Douglas. And a fella who was on the ground as much as the players today, Ray Daffy Lamaro. Give him a big roll. Go on, ya Daffy. Congratulations, Euroa. Kevin, if you'd like to take the boys down for your lap of honour, the winners of the 1990 Premiership in the Goulburn Valley Football League, the Euroa Magpies. Go back that way. Well done, Gav. Go back that way.
I'd love to sing the song right there.